There are a lot of elements of the Netflix. Their next big broadcast is not till the Home Run Derby, and then they're doing the Field of Dreams game up in Iowa.
Oh, they're doing the Home Run Derby?
Netflix has Home Run Derby this year. It's no longer on ESPN.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so that'll be a thing later on. So we'll talk Netflix. We'll talk TV stuff. We'll also get into, here in about 10 minutes or so, perhaps the future of the Truman Sports Complex site. There's a press conference expected at 11 o'clock today from the Jackson County executive, Phil Lavoda. So we'll see. It could be a whole lot of nothing. It could be a great thing. I have no idea. We'll discuss what that might end up being, but we all know the future of the Truman Sports Complex has been widely discussed. As we know, the Chiefs are leaving. We know the Royals are not going to be playing at the K after the early 2030s. And so something's got to happen out there, and perhaps we will learn that at 11 o'clock. But let's start with the draft, because I got Bink in today for 4 hours. You know, it's the perfect time to key in on the draft. We're just under a month away now. We're just under a month away. Can you believe it? You guys have been doing this character concern stuff for 6 months or more. I know you and Chris have been doing a great job of that. We'll get to your guys' mock draft from last week in the Chiefs Red Half Hour. But a month out, what's the biggest concern still remaining for you? Because I think it's pretty simple. I think it is absolutely the defensive line, Bink. I get it. George Karlaftis is still here. Chris Jones is still here. They signed, I think, a very effective signing in a nose tackle in Tonga. But who's opposite Karlaftis? They got a couple young guys that showed promise in Gelati, Norman Lott's coming off an injury. Fine, but who's the other piece other than waiting to spin it at number 9 that you think you can rely on to at least be I'm not saying a double-digit sack guy, but can he be a 6-sack guy? That individual is not on the roster yet. Now, could it be a Cam Jordan and they address this before free agency? Fine. There's some other veterans out there, but I think the number one concern, number one priority still remaining, whether it's free agency or draft, for me at least, is defensive line. And it was number 1, by the way, when free agency began.
Sure. I see it as and people aren't going to like to hear it, but I think it's going to be by committee. You know, like no one likes to hear running back by committee, because Chiefs have done this in the past. And I'm glad you mentioned Norman Lott, because that is the forgotten guy. This guy led college football in quarterback pressure rate his last year at Tennessee. There's a reason why he was drafted in the second round. I think when people look at the line, and I get it, he's on the interior and on the outside, and the Chiefs tried to put on too much weight on him last year. Remember, he got up to 315. I know Chris and I were hard on that on the character concerns. Like, this isn't what he does. He plays lighter, and and that's what helps him get to the quarterback. But he'll be coming back. So this is, and bringing Tonga in through free agency, I think is big, because he can play the nose. So you're not asking Norman Lott to do that. So that is a big addition that you basically didn't have last year. So don't forget about him. But by committee, and I say that because you go back to 57, Super Bowl 57 and 58, the Chiefs were second in the league in sacks. That's the one thing people don't realize, like how good they were at getting to the quarterback without stars, because that was the biggest concern before that year they beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Not the second one, the first one. The biggest concern through camp is who's going to get to the quarterback. I'll never forget it. People were talking about that.
Right. And then Chris Jones was 3 years younger, 2 years younger.
The Chiefs finished second in the NFL in sacks. And you know how they did it? By committee. They got it from the edge. They got it from the interior from Chris Jones, whether he's interior or playing 7 technique or 3 technique. They got it from both. It was the timely inside linebacker blitzes from Nick Bolton. You know, it wouldn't be much, maybe 1 or 2 here. A Leo Chanel sack here and there.
Because who can you count on?
Safety sacks and corner sacks. It was by committee. Would I rather see them get edge? 100%. Do I think that guy exists in the top 10? No. Do I think you can get good 6 or 7 sack guys? Picking 29th, I do think it's a priority. In our last mock, there's 9 picks of the Chiefs, 5 of them we went defense, and getting to the quarterback was a priority. I still think it's a huge hole for the Kansas City. I think there's 3 glaring holes right now. Defensive line's obviously one of them getting to the quarterback. The other one's corner. You lose McDuffie and Jalen Watson. Yeah, you have Noah Williams, and Noah Williams is great. We loved Noah Williams last year, but that is a concern for the Chiefs, which in this draft, they will be able to do it because they do damage at corners and defensive backs in the draft. And I think wide receiver, right now, on paper, it is the weakest position group in the National Football League. I don't think you can look at the Chiefs' defensive line and the edge rushers and say it's the weakest group in the NFL, but I think you can look at the receivers and clearly say that's the weakest unit in the NFL. It's also the cheapest unit in the NFL.
It is the cheapest, yeah.
So cheapest unit, weakest unit. They didn't address wide receiver through free agency, and I get that because you don't want to pay $29 million a year from an Alec Pierce. Juwan Jennings is going to command in the $20 million too when he finally signs, but I think he's asking way too much. That's why
the longer he's out there, the price is going down.
It's going to go completely down. But unless they do it in the draft, which Andy Reid would have to change his philosophies on what he does with rookie receivers, I get that, or you make a trade for one. But that's the only way this wide receiver room is going to get big. I think they need to not just draft one, but draft multiple wide receivers in this year's draft. It needs to be a priority.
Yeah, defensive line, they can, much like some of these other positions, I think they can address still in free agency and actually have somebody that has an impact. Like whatever wide receiver they sign, if it's not Juwan Jennings, I don't know how much of an impact that receiver is going to have at this point in time. Whereas a defensive lineman, I keep saying Cam Jordan because he's a guy that's got a track record.
He's also Chris and I's favorite guy.
He's also not.
That's a guy that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, he's also not Calais Campbell, who's 42 years old or whatever.
You know, 38.
Cam Jordan is to me. There's a big difference between 42 years old and 37 or 38 for an NFL defensive lineman. And credit to Calais Campbell, he was playing at a high level still.
Would have been a good trade deadline deal.
Pretty impressive, Bink. But when we think about the wide receiver spot, as much as I agree with you about it being weak, so much of this is dependent on Rashee Rice and whether or not he is going to be available this year. Let's say he is, and I tell you that it's Rice, Worthy, and I don't care which receiver you think at 9, whether it's Tate or Lemon, Tyson, whoever your guy is. If all of a sudden it's that 1, 2, 3 plus Tyquan Thornton plus one other veteran, let's call it, and hell, Jalen Royals as the 6th or 5th receiver, whatever. Like that's actually, if Rice is available and that's how it plays out, I actually don't think that's a terrible setup, knowing that Travis Kelce is back, knowing that you got more explosive with Kenneth Walker. The defensive line part is worrisome for me because you have Karlaftis Jones, who is a year older. Tonga will help Chris Jones in the interior a little bit. But on the other end, like someone mentioned Felix Andy Uzama. Look, come on. You cannot count on him. I'm not even sure if he makes the roster. I've been saying that for a couple months. So even if he makes it, best case scenario, he gets you 2 or 3 sacks this year. 3.5, let's call it. I think he had a couple the year before the injury and everything. That's why I think defensive line, to me, I would almost rather at this point, if they do not sign Cam Jordan, then at 9 or 29 or a trade scenario has to be defensive line, even more so than wide receiver for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's still a big hole. But here's the one thing I'll look at with the wide receiver room. I think Rashee Rice has gotten to that category where you don't actually pencil it in. You don't Sharpie it because you don't know.
Well, definitely.
That is the biggest unknown. So I think you build your wide receiver room not expecting that because you know what you have. And don't fall in the trap, too, of the receivers that look good in St. Joe. Because the last 2 years, people are like, oh, those receivers are fine. And then you get to the regular season, and guess what happens? 2 years ago, Hollywood Brown hurt in the first preseason game. Rashee Rice hurt game 4. And all of a sudden, your undersized wide receiver is now asked to be your number 1, and Xavier Worthy and Andy Reid, not the best track record with rookie wide receivers. So the receiver room looked good. And I kept, look at these wide receivers, looks good on paper. Yeah, it looks good in St. Joe. But then when you get to the regular season, and I think the Chiefs have put themselves in the hole at wide receiver. And I think that happens when last year you just throw one dart in the 4th round at Jalen Royals. Because Jalen Royals needed to do something for the Chiefs last year. They were in a situation where they knew Rice was going to be suspended. Like, that was not a mystery. They knew it was going to happen. Right. And yet that was their choice at wide receivers with Jalen Royals in the 4th when they desperately needed one. And they didn't go bring in. I mean, Tyquan Thornton was already on the practice squad and stuff like that. And we joke about the Keenan Allen and things like that. But a guy like that was still sitting out there all summer. He didn't sign with the Chargers until training camp started. But they didn't bring in that Mike Evans, Keenan Allen type guy. Right. They didn't do that and dress it. They addressed it through the draft, and it didn't work out. But they have let this wide receiver room by only drafting one, like a Sky Moore, then a Rice, then a Jalen Royals, not multiple wide receivers.
Does that speak, though, to the other areas where they have whiffed at times? The reason why they've continued to have to put resources in offensive tackle is because up until maybe now with Josh Simmons, unless there's more to the story we don't know, I think they finally did find their left tackle, by the way.
Depth.
But they have had to devote top-tier resources to O-line, and this is why I've said throughout the offseason, I don't want them spending pick 9 or 29 on an offensive lineman. I want to take advantage for the first time in, 3 years, Bink. They don't really have to spend a top-tier pick on an offensive lineman. Look, they can draft one at 40. I don't care.
Are you sold on Jalen Moore being your right tackle?
For this year, not long-term.
Are you sold on that? Because that's what it's going to be.
His technique.
The tackles are right tackles. The best tackles in this draft are right tackles.
Yeah,
but you have to be sold on Jalen Moore.
Yeah, his technique was questionable last year, if you believe some of those film breakdown guys that were circulating throughout the season. for Jalen Moore? I think the Chiefs will answer that, by the way, very evidently with their actions. If they spend a 9th overall pick on a tackle, it tells us all we need to know about Jalen Moore. But they also probably do need to draft one at some point. One, because Moore's only on a 1-year deal, and they don't really have a ton of depth. I know everybody fell in love with Pole or whatever, but the guy,
Wanye Moore is still floating out there.
He didn't even make the team out of camp last year, so let's put that in perspective. So I think,
and Chuba Godric didn't play college football.
Yeah, a lot of it, not a lot of experience there. So to answer your question, I just don't want them spending the 9th overall pick on an offensive lineman in a year where, to me, they don't actually have to do that.
Because with Kingsley being a second rounder and then Simmons in the first, they spent some high draft capital on offensive line going forward. But it is still an area they do need to address, is that offensive line, because what they have, so it's more of a position of depth at this point, unless you're saying we have to get a right tackle. You know, Spencer Furneaux, by the way, is a good right tackle. He's probably going to be playing guard in the National Football League, so it takes him out. So Francis Mauigoa from Miami, that could be an answer at right tackle. Or you get a Monroe Freeling that's a left tackle, and you got to move
Let me
to
ask
the
you
right.
this real quick before we move on. We'll talk more draft during Chiefs Red Half Hour. We'll take a look at your guys' character concerns mock draft. We gave you a hard time, obviously, at the time, and it's still one of my favorite moments, draft night with Josh Simmons, and you said you hated the pick. I'm not even bringing that part up to give you a hard time. What I'm saying is, who would you hate at 9? Like, is there a player that would have you having that exact same reaction, where you'd be sitting there on draft night here on 96.5 The Fan, and you'd be out there saying, man, you know what?
From Ohio State.
I hate this pick.
What would have you saying that same thing?
Not a ton this year, because you can make an argument about the needs. Like, you can be sold on it. You don't want to go. The one I had the hardest time with selling myself on was D Ford.
Okay.
Now, listen, he had good production. He had better production, actually, than Ruben Bain did at Miami. He had the 32-inch arms, the longer arm range. When they drafted him, the comparisons to DT and things like that came right away. They came too much pressure. And Tom Bali actually signed that extra contract because he wasn't ready to go. So not a lot, because they did go right tackle. Like, I understand the thought of it, because if they don't like Jalen Moore, I could see him doing that. Caleb Banks, honestly, might be the best player in the first round, to be quite honest with you.
Wow.
And if they went there, but they did bring in Alohi Gilman. So you look at that, they do bring in a safety, and I think they can get good mid-round safeties too. There's a lot of good guys. Bud Clark at TCU. There's certain guys they can get. So not as much, and obviously edge is a necessity, whether it's at 9 or 29. I mean, we got 29 going edge. We went TJ Parker and that. So there is a need in the first round, I think, for wide receiver and edge. Now, if you
is there a name though? Is there a specific player at 9 where you would be like, oh man, I hate it?
No, I'm not as wild. I liked watching him during the season. Was a guy like Ruben Bain. I think people fall in love with Twitter clips of him, and I think they like to see him at the pro day with shorts on, hitting a practice dummy, and they fall in love with it, like people do at training camp when they see guys going against 4th-string cornerbacks that are selling insurance for State Farm right now instead of playing in the NFL. People go wild about touchdown.
Are you
catches.
saying State Farm agents have short arms?
No, but my problem is this, and I don't know how people feel, but if a top 10 pick refuses to run at the combine, which a lot of guys do, and then you refuse to run at your pro day, the first thing that comes up is a red flag. What are you hiding? Because Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't do either. Didn't run at the combine, didn't run at the pro day, and he struggled in the NFL.
Is he struggling because of that, or is that just a coincidence that he just hasn't adapted to the pros and he might be a bust?
If you make a top 10 pick, I would rather them run at some point, whether it be at their pro day or combine, because when you bring them in for a top 30 visit, you can't work them out. It's only a medical type thing or interviewing them. You can't do the workouts with them.
My answer is, I think it's pretty evident. You guys can tell if you've been listening at 9 for the last month or two. The one thing that would have me saying I hate the pick, it's not a particular player, it's just the position. And it really is. It's been this way since January. It's offensive tackle at 9. Not at 9. It can be at 29. It can be at 40. Other than that, at one point I would have said Sadiq, not because he can't be a good player, because I don't want to tight end at 9. You can now, seeing what they did at running back with Walker, and even knowing the defensive line issues, if some of the top defensive linemen are not on the board there at 9 and I can't trade back, you could at least convince me on Sadiq at 9 more now than you could 3 months ago. Hard time convincing me that a right tackle at pick 9 and a premium pick, probably the highest that they're going to draft in the Mahomes era, is going to be a pick that I like.
You remember how hot the name Jeremiah Love was? I mean, he was dominating like 14 at 25 mocks. It was only Jeremiah Love. Kenyon Sadiq was that guy at the end of the regular season when everybody thought Travis Kelce was going to go off into the sunset. And obviously, when you see a lot of mock drafts with the right tackle, people are saying because of Juwan Taylor, they're trying to piece things together. So I get it with the offensive line with you. The good news is having that 20 and pick 29 and 40, and then you got 74 real close to that. So the Chiefs can do some damage. That's why all the pressure's on this front office with this draft, because they can get a lot of pieces that they need. Because you don't want to go into a draft with holes. GMs like to go in with their roster kind of filled out. The Chiefs have actual holes because edge rusher, wide receiver, corner, to me, they're going to need rookies to actually perform this year. Oftentimes, you don't want all that production from your rookies. You're not expecting it. It's great if they're the Mackley Hill winner for Rookie of the Year, but they're actually going to count on those rookies to actually do damage this year. And it's not just one. They need production from multiple slots in the draft this year as far as rookies. And you don't want that because you kind of want to address certain problems and holes through free agency, which they clearly did at running back, but you don't want all those kind of glaring weaknesses and spots you need to fill in the draft.
Yeah, so this is a year though. I think you use the draft though to build up hopefully your foundation for 27 and beyond, and you hope that yes, multiple players can contribute to 2026. But as you said, there's a ton of holes right now on the roster, and I don't know if they can fix it all in this one particular offseason.
We'll get back into the draft. You do not want to go into a draft saying we got to fix this, and this because that burns you.
We will get back into the draft a little bit later on. Don't forget, you can interact on the Jay Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. Video stream is up and running on YouTube, Twitch, X as well. Here in about 12 minutes, we'll get into the latest rumblings around Bill Self's future, including what multiple coaches and ADs at some of these other schools were saying as they were addressing rumors, not only about KU, because that job's not open yet, if it does open up, but more so about North Carolina, which we already know has a vacancy. I thought it was interesting how one coach answered the question compared to the other that is in the Sweet 16 tonight. We do have some college hoops we'll get to later on in the show as well, but something that we're going to learn about in about 40 minutes, and I'll be honest, I don't know if it's going to be a big nothing burger. I'm not quite sure, but I think we all know that there is certainly a question about the future of the Truman Sports Complex site now that the Chiefs are going to Kansas. The Royals, we already know, have stated that after 2031, or in 2031, I guess it would be, that they will not be there. So what happens to that site? Well, there's a press conference that was announced this morning. It's going to take place at 11 o'clock, and it'll be in Jackson County, and it'll be with the Jackson County executive, Phil Lavoda. And they're calling, quote, to make a significant announcement regarding the future of the Truman Sports Complex. The announcement will focus on next steps for the county-owned site and outline a forward-looking vision for one of Jackson County's most important assets. So that's coming up at 11. Look, I don't think if it was going to be a huge grand plan that it wouldn't have already leaked out something, somebody wouldn't already have it. I don't know. We were joking 2 months ago about what it would be, and the obvious answer for most people is it's like a data center or something like that. Just because, but I don't know if that's realistic. I don't know if they've got a plan to make it more of a true public space for people, if it involves tearing down both buildings. Who knows? Well, what do you think it should be?
I think it's going to be a dog park. I think they're come out and
a 280-acre, 300-acre dog park.
They have this huge ass dog park. Is what it's going to do.
Dog park
I have no idea. I mean, you need
300-acre.
there, but
people travel hundreds of miles to get their dog to play in that.
I think we're going to see a dog park.
Welcome.
That's my guess.
A 300-acre dog park. That's Bink's guess.
It's big, huge. Little dogs, big dogs.
Look, I guess there are no wrong answers. We're all just speculating. Have no clue. Maybe it's a combination. Bink. Maybe the dog park can be a small part of whatever ends up going there. I think it's going to be a combination of things like that. That to me could be the answer too, right? It could also just be one giant data center, but maybe it's a combination of things. We are talking about a huge chunk of land. I think the entire site is over 300 acres. The stadiums themselves are right like 200 and something, but I think the entire site is well over 300 acres. And so there is a lot to work with. Otherwise, you're just going to have just random crumbling concrete with weeds and everything growing there, and that's about it.
It's a good spot. I-70, 435 right there. It's why I've never figured out why the Chiefs and Royals could make it work. That's in a hell of a spot right there.
Yeah, I mean, text line 913-586-7965. A lot of people mentioning manufacturing or warehouses or something. That's probably it may not be the answer that people want to hear, but is that the most realistic thing for the site?
I don't know if you want to. I know that the Royals have stated. I mean, it's not a guesswork. They've stated they're not playing there beyond.
That's
so
not
they have
happening.
to have a new facility, and obviously you're thinking about downtown and stuff like that. So you kind of rule out that it would deal with that. So I don't know. I think this tends to lean the opposite direction of a sports thing, something, a data center, something like that. We were saying the dog park I was just kidding about, but obviously it's probably going to be something like that.
I mean, the way they describe,
it's a bad timing if it's something non-baseball related because it's opening day coming up tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm reading into every single word, so maybe no, I got you. So maybe I'm reading into it too much, but a forward-looking vision for one of Jackson County's most important assets, and then if you just announce that it's going to be warehouses, I just don't think that's why I actually think there's a chance it's going to be way more of a piece for the community than it is going to be just that. Because a forward-looking vision and it's just going to be a bunch of warehouses, I just don't. Is that the word you would use to describe that?
No, it sounds like they have a plan.
I feel like there's a chance it's going to be something that the public is going to be
the UFL. It's going to be the UFL.
Some sort of massive community center slash
or a multi-use development. Yeah, that's going to have a bunch of different elements.
I don't know how near the closest community center is to that area.
I mean, just saying,
but I wonder if it's something that's built up where it actually it's still a quote unquote complex, like a sports complex, but they make it into something that's community outreach as opposed to, of course, professional franchise.
Yeah, I would honestly guess warehouses.
So would I. I mean, but can it be multiple things? Yes, a warehouse is an easy thing to just slap on 300 acres of warehouses, but I'm just saying, to claim forward-looking vision and then it's just an Amazon warehouse, is that really forward thinking? No. So
it's not going to be restaurants and shops because that's why they left.
No, you're 100% right.
So if they do that, there's what the hell? This is why the teams are leaving.
Bink people are saying dog park, the best hot take in sports ever from Jay Binkley. Someone also says dog park, nice place to meet some nice ladies, Bink.
Yeah, it's great. Dog parks are fun.
Someone says Spirit Halloween. 5 mattress firms and a Spirit Halloween are all going to go in there.
Mattress Mac.
Oh, that's the guy from Houston.
Yeah.
Mattress Mac. That's not local.
No,
that's a Houston.
Saying he's moving up here. He's
going to build a couple of those.
Second location, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get the exact announcement at 11. There is a press conference, so hopefully it's something a little more definitive. And if it's interesting, we'll certainly talk about it. And if it's just warehouses, we won't spend much more time discussing it a little bit later on in the show. All right, up next, though, let's talk about the future of Bill Self at Kansas, the latest reports that are out there, and what some coaches and ADs that might have a coach interested in another job are saying.
What's up, KC? It's Matt Strom from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to Cody and Gold on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impacts it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, good sex will be the norm. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a level of intimacy for you and your partner that might just astound you both. It's time to have really good sex again. So call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Visit AnthonyPHC.com today.
Don't wait until extreme temps hit. Anthony makes home comfort easy. Right now, buy a new AC and get a furnace free when you book at AnthonyPHCE.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Scott Parks, and we've launched Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's largest sporting event, presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. Subscribe on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, we're just getting started here on a Thursday. It's Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Drew Nixon with you. Jay Binkley is in for Cody today. Don't forget, tomorrow we are going to also be out at Maloney's in downtown OP tomorrow night watching opening night, Royals and Braves. So we'll be hanging out there as soon as we get done with our show. We'll head over to Maloney's, and we'll have everybody from the station, or at least a good chunk of us from the station, hanging out, watching some baseball. Plus, the Sweet 16, night 2 of it will be on tomorrow. So that is something that we hope to see you guys out at, hanging out. Jay Binkley might even be there as well. We'll see.
And you
might even get
Vern.
Bink out there.
You get some Vern on the radio, which means
that's true.
He's got a hot stove show tonight, so that's the last hot stove, obviously, before the season. But whenever you have Vern back every single night, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be good to start hearing Royals baseball back on the airwaves. That, of course, begins tomorrow night right here on 96.5 The Fan. We will talk about the television side of the Royals here in just a bit as well. There's also an interesting tweet the Royals, or the Chiefs, I'm sorry, just put out, and maybe we can get to that next hour. We were not planning on discussing so much cryptic stuff today, guys. You know, we're speculating about what a press conference might be at 11. We're going to talk about a uniform leak. And then now the Chiefs put out a tweet that says, football has a missing piece, 4-2-26. So April 2nd, obviously coming up, next week or whatever. And there's a GIF or a little, 6-second video clip of a Chiefs flag with a piece of, I don't know what you call it, like tape in the middle of it, guys. Is that how you would describe it? It's like clear.
Hold on. Is the logo present?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say they're not.
You can go to the Drew. Go over to the Chiefs Twitter account, and anybody can look at this. And we'll talk more about this. But I just want people to look at it and think about what they think this is, and we'll give our answers to. It's an interesting cryptic tweet from the Chiefs. It's a flag with a clear piece missing. It looks like tape. Hence, football has a missing piece. early speculation on Twitter from a lot of people is it a uniform alternate or something like that? No clue. I think it's very interesting.
But that would be
piece. That
would be 2027. That's when the Chiefs and the AFC West are doing the rivalries.
Right.
So that would make sense if it was 26 that they would put it out there. But it's
I don't
actually
know.
they wouldn't do a uniform release a year early.
I agree. So let's talk more about that next hour. That is an interesting tweet from the Kansas City Chiefs. Go over to their Twitter account, or I don't know, maybe they have it on Facebook too, but I saw it on Twitter first. I'm guessing they'll have it on their other socials. And very, very cryptic of the Chiefs. And notice it's April 2nd, not April 1st. That would have been big difference between the two. Because April 1st, is that Monday? Is April 1st Monday or Tuesday? What am I at? Today's the 26th.
I'm honestly not sure.
April 1st is Wednesday. So April 2nd is next Thursday, a week from today.
Second Thursday, yeah.
But let's talk a little college basketball for a bit, then we can get into that. The latest on the Bill Self front, not as much and not anything really has changed since we got off the air from the KU side of it, which was Bill Self telling Gary Bedore yesterday some of the information and comments out there are BS, hasn't made a decision about his future. And we sit here now on Thursday, and frankly on Monday, a lot of people thought we would know by now. But that is not the case on whether or not he's going to retire or not. And then yesterday was the media sessions for multiple teams that are playing in the Sweet 16. And so two of the coaches are candidates, or at least I would say names on list of potential candidates for North Carolina if Kansas opened up. And I'm talking about Arizona's Tommy Lloyd. I'm talking about Iowa State's TJ Otzelberger. And both of them were asked the same type of question. I thought TJ Otzelberger at Iowa State handled it more like someone that truly is committed to staying at Iowa State and wants to build a future there and all that, even though his buyout is way less than Tommy Lloyd. Here was Tommy Lloyd when he was asked about being mentioned for the North Carolina job.
What I'll say, Seth, is I already have one of the best jobs in the country. And one thing we talk about in our program all the time, and I think I've gotten better at, and I think our team's been crushing it this year, is just the ability to have full focus and be present in the moment. And so I think we have a great team. I think we have a chance to advance in this tournament game by game, but I'm not delusional. I know we could lose tomorrow, but this team deserves my full focus. So there's not one thing that is going to knock me off my path. I'm 100% focused on Arizona basketball and this program, and I can't wait till the ball gets thrown up tomorrow, and then can't wait to try to figure out a way to come out on top.
And I get it. Whenever coaches are asked about this, we can nitpick every single answer and what do they mean by it. I don't know if that was the firm denial you were looking for from an Arizona fan perspective. And again, he was asked about North Carolina. The Kansas job is not open, so nobody's asking about Kansas yet. Bill Self is still the head coach, and as far as I'm concerned, I hope he's still the head coach 5 months from now and for next season. But we all know the reality is there's a real chance he's not, based off of, unfortunately, some health issues he's dealt with. But did you guys hear the Tommy Lloyd answer the same way I did? Like he said, look, he's got the best job in the country already. Okay, fine, great answer. But after that, it just was immediately like, I'm focused on, it wasn't if you listen to TJ Otzelberger, I don't know if I have the audio of that, but I can get to the quote in a second. He was more talking about the future at Iowa State and working with the chancellor and working with the AD and everything. Whereas Tommy Lloyd was just like, I already have the best job in the country and nothing's going to distract me from my team tomorrow. It was more about the present, not about the future. Otzelberger was talking about both.
He was. It's just a different type of coach that you're looking for now. Things have definitely changed in the last several years on who you want as far as the X's and O's. Is that really what you want, or you want the guy that can bring in the guy with the best deal, the best guy that bring in the most money? I mean, things have changed definitely in college football. I'm sure it's the same with college basketball as far as the type of person you're looking for to lead your organization. But yes, Iowa State's given both answers. But right now you expect just total focus on the tournament. That's like, I don't believe anything coaches say, though. When they say they want to build a home here and make this program, I don't buy it for a second because it's the next thing, smoke and leaving. We see it with players all the time.
Well, then the leverage part of it. I mean, Tommy Lloyd could also, I think that job would be tougher to leave, I would argue, than Dusty May leaving Michigan for North Carolina or Kansas, or Otzelberger even leaving Iowa State, just because like Arizona, I get it. It's not like they've won a bunch of national titles over the last 15 years. Okay. It's quite the opposite. But at the same time, I think coming off a season where they just won the Big 12, where maybe they're going to win the national title this year, we'll see. And NIL-wise, they're not too bad either. That's a job that I think you would consider just staying at. But he could also just leverage this into a brand new contract. Sounds like that might be what's going to happen at Iowa State with Otzelberger. But I'm with you. A lot of these coaches, when they're still the coach and they're in the tournament, it's very easy to say you're committed to a place. Then you lose. Your tournament run is over. Your agent tells you that North Carolina is interested and they want to pay you double what you're making. Pretty hard to say no to that all of a sudden. As far as Kansas goes, Jacques Vaughn, no matter what happens, whether it's this year Bill Self retires or a year from now or whatever, Jacques Vaughn is going to be one of the top candidates for the job. And I told you, and I'll give the top 5 list later, I promised, yesterday on the show. I told you there's other names like Tommy Lloyd that I would prefer, but Jacques Vaughn is a legitimate candidate, and he left the NBA to come to Kansas for a reason. He had interest clearly in being in the college ranks. Some people speculate that's the secession plan, if I could say that properly. And Jacques Vaughn was asked by Matt Foster over at 41. This was during the Big 12 tournament. This was, I believe, last week or more, maybe 2 weeks ago, I guess, at this point in time. And it's the only time I think on record that Jacques Vaughn was asked about, coaching at Kansas and would he be interested long term.
One of the most prestigious programs in college basketball. Who wouldn't want to be a part of that future going forward? But I don't know that future. I am a Jayhawk forever, and where that leads, we'll see.
That's the correct answer. You want to do because you want to put anything
Bill Self's
out there
still the coach,
yeah, he was the coach at the time, and you don't want to say, yeah, this is why I'm here and what I'm looking for, because it's always kind of dangerous when you have a legend of a program taking over, because eventually you're going to have to. Well, Kansas has worked out where guys kind of leave on their own, like Roy and with Bill, but chances are you're going to have to fire that guy at some point, the way things are at this point. I think things have opened up clearly. I think a lot of people are looking at college coaches. I think right now with sports and college football, it's never been a closer line between pros and college, where some teams might have been hesitant to bring in pro coaches to college football because of that difference in what it was, but it's never been closer to the same with free agency, which is basically the portal. Teams all have GMs now, which they did in the past. They have recruiting departments now from the outside. Guys like Jim Nagy left the Senior Bowl to go be the Oklahoma GM. Teams are doing different things. Now you're paying the players, which is completely different. So that line between the NBA and college basketball, you might have been hesitant to grab an NBA guy to go to college because you don't see it as a fit. It's more of a fit now than it ever has been. Same thing with NFL to college and college to NFL, because that line has been blurred between the two because there was big separation between coaches, holding kind of the power on where guys could transfer to and where they couldn't, and paying players. And now the free agency, all of the transfer portal, which is basically the same thing. That line between pros and college has never been more similar. I think it opens up the pool to who you're looking for instead of zeroing in on which college coach you come. I think NBA and Jacques Vaughn, obviously with NBA, background, I think that's actually what guys are looking for now, because they all want to get to the next level.
Well, and the
money
GM aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my only concern is there's what's happened at UNC. They just promoted and hired a homegrown guy, and obviously someone with extreme ties to the university, and Hubert Davis. Year one, it was great, and then it wasn't good enough. And no matter what, the expectation is going to be nuts, whoever takes over at Kansas. And Scott Pollard was on with Carrington yesterday, of course, the former Jayhawk, top pick in the draft many, many years ago. Very passionate still about Kansas. And he mentioned, because of those expectations, is it tough to attract, let's just say, a Tommy Lloyd or somebody, not because you don't have the money, not because it's not a historic job and everything, but the guy that follows Bill Self. Here's what he kind of said.
Spoiled of our fans because we expect greatness year in and year out because it's all we know. We've never gone 2-20 and not made the tournament in the history of most people that are Jayhawk fans that are alive right now. Not 20-year-olds, not 15-year-olds, 80-year-olds. Like, most people that are alive that are Jayhawk fans have not seen Kansas have a losing season and not even have a sniff at a national ranking or be in the top in the tournament. So when you factor that in, yeah, who wants that job? What not insane person wants to follow up Bill Self and be like, oh yeah, I'll manage those fans. I'll keep them their egos in check. I will impress them with my coaching pedigree. and my ability to be better than Bill Self. Yes, it absolutely will push people away.
It's going to take the right type of coach. As we said yesterday, I don't want them hiring somebody if Bill Self retires that is afraid to follow Bill Self. But yeah, you definitely can't walk in there and say, I'm going to do exactly what Bill Self did, have the exact same amount of success. That is crazy. But look at 4 years ago, they won a national title, okay? But since then, what have we been talking about all week? All right, missing Sweet 16s and all this. If, let's say it's Jacques Vaughn, let's say it's Dusty May, I don't know, either one. If the first 2 years KU is just let's call it a 5 seed, they win one game, they're out early, and that's the first 2 years. As a KU guy, I can tell you, like, people are going to say, well, that guy shouldn't be the coach anymore. I don't like him anymore. But that's going to be that's the real expectation. And that's going to be, that's crazy, but that's where we're at.
Is it a priority?
That's the standard that, I mean, before Bill as well, Roy said it too, but Bill Self has only increased the spoiled nature that, frankly, I am as a KU fan and others are.
Which is why I think I still wonder if you're going to have a similar situation that you saw at Alabama. Who wants to follow up Nick Saban? Sark, no. Dabo, no. Kirby Smart, no. Dan Lanning, no. Then they settle on Kalen DeBoer, and not that Kalen DeBoer is a bad coach, but they're in a spot now where Alabama fans don't like what's happening there, and they're still actually making the playoff. Like I wonder if KU's going to get stuck in that spot where it's either everybody gets an extension or coach says no because I'm good where I'm at, and they end up having to settle for somebody else. I mean, we've seen it in college football. We could see it North Carolina might end up having to do a similar sort of thing as well, I guess. But I
don't like Stephen A. Smith's suggestion of hiring Kenny the Jet Smith.
No, Kenny has great connections, and I know that Cody talked about connections, but they cannot hire Kenny Smith as their basketball coach.
What a crazy name to throw out there. Is Stephen A. just friends with Kenny? Is that what it is? And he's like, who's one North Carolina person I know? It's like the first name that Stephen A. could remember that had North Carolina ties.
Is that a priority, though? Someone's been a coach at the program, like Bill did, who didn't play there, played Oklahoma State. Is that a priority to have a former player? Because sometimes that isn't in the way you went. Hubert Davis, a player at North Carolina. Because, again, if you hire a legend or someone that's been in the program, you got to fire him. Yeah, sometimes it works out like a Nick Saban that had no ties to Alabama, wasn't on the staff of Bear Bryant,
Bink.
And he wasn't a player there. He played at Kent State, but that worked out. Would you rather go a different direction or someone that has direct ties? Because the odds are, you're going to have to fire that guy at some point, homegrown guy.
I think that's what makes the North Carolina job so fascinating. I don't think in our lifetime, it's been forever since they hired somebody from outside of the North Carolina circle.
Yeah, they don't do that.
So that to me is maybe, not that KU's not a fascinating position, but them dipping back into that pool would be interesting, but I think for North Carolina, they've never done anything like that before. So if you're Kansas, do you stay away from it because of what happened with Hubert Davis? I don't know if you're necessarily scared of it. More so to me, the reasoning behind Jacques Vaughn being lower on the list is he's never been a head coach in college. He was a head coach for a little bit in the NBA, got fired. It went okay. Like, I feel like he's got the NBA connections. He knows what it's like, where I think he's the perfect, for Kansas, he's the perfect assistant coach. For a smaller program, like for K-State, yes. Go ahead, hire Jacques Vaughn because he's got the NBA experience, can pull those guys in. I know what it takes to get to the NBA and all those other things. But for Kansas, for North Carolina, for Duke, I don't think Jacques Vaughn fits. I would rather have somebody who has been there, done that in college, is one of the best in the country. They've proven it. That's why Tommy Lloyd, Dusty May are all getting mentioned before Jacques Vaughn, in my opinion, even though Jacques Vaughn loves KU, said that he's a Jayhawk forever and all those other things.
Yeah, and I don't doubt that. And I don't doubt that that's how he feels. And I'm not even saying that it would be a disaster, but I think 4 or 5 people have to tell you no before I would say, okay, like if they end up, whatever that day is, Bill Self retires. And again, I hope it's not this year. I hope it's a year or two from now. But if that happens and they end up just promoting Jacques Vaughn, then I don't know if we'll ever get the real answer, but I would want to know that, all right, this guy said no, this guy said no, this guy said no, somebody else said no. And so, all right, well, now it makes sense. We'll never know that publicly because that's not how coaching hires work. They never offer the job to anyone, other than the guy that got hired officially, right? That's how they find out who has interest, and then they claim they never offered the job to anybody else, kind of thing. So we'll see. We'll get back into this a little bit later on. We'll also talk Sweet 16, which is tonight. And as I said, we've got coaches that are maybe going to be leaving their programs that are coaching in the Sweet 16.
But did Sharon Collins get no buzz?
Yeah, I think
he's won a title. It was high school, but
he did. He did a good
Straight
job.
from high school
he's a national
Kansas
champion with
home.
Kansas. He's a national champion. Hey, we see weirder stuff going on in sports right now.
Well, there is weird stuff going on. That would
I'm
be.
kidding you about that, by the way.
Well, no, Bink.
But him being an assistant on that
your
team,
guy.
I can see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
But what he's done at Oak Park, it's legendary.
Coming up in 15 minutes, we'll talk about opening night baseball last night. The Yankees throttled the Giants, but it was Netflix's first broadcast. Got some thoughts on that, plus the first ever ABS. And we've got a Royal City Connect leak that we'll get to in about 15 minutes or so. Thinking of the Royals, the first thing you mentioned to me when I walked in the building today, I hadn't even taken my backpack off. I hadn't even set the keys on the table. And Bink said, "Hey, Spectrum 305. I go, "What?" He goes, "Royal Spectrum 305. And that is true. The Royals did announce, Bink, the TV details. And I know there are people interested in this, so I'm giving you a hard time, but the Royals did clarify how people can watch their games. We know you can do the Royals.tv thing. It's $99.99 for a season. They do the free 7-day trial. Good to go, starting tomorrow. But if you already have Xfinity or Spectrum or DirecTV or Cox or Fubo, you are good to go. You already got the channel. You're ready to rock and roll.
Well, that's
and
a significant number of places.
It is, but it's also very similar to what last year was under FanDuel.
Same thing.
And that's why when they announced Royals.tv, the answer at the time was, if you watched it on Spectrum or whatever last year, you're going to be able to watch it again. The only provider that's not on here that I wish was on here, and it's not on any of the other teams that are part of this MLB package that they're doing this with in-house, and that's YouTube TV, of course. But I'm going to do what I did last year. In fact, I already did. Subscribe to Royals.tv this go around, but it's the same concept as what last year was.
You got the remote right there. Put it on 305 and see what
there's no game on.
I know, but you can see what they put. This is what we were tracking on the night show.
Wait, did you go to the? I see the channel right there.
305. Go to it.
Have you done this already?
Yeah, go to it.
Did you stare at it for an hour last night?
It was nothing, and then all of a sudden,
well, you were watching the
baseball,
channel.
Watch it. There you go.
Yeah, it says next game
but
telecast.
That wasn't on there. That was just an empty thing. Then boom, that shows up. That's what we knew was going to happen. That was like, we're watching this because we do talk about the night show, because everybody always wonders. You get a million texts, and I'm sure you have, Alex, and I'm sure Drew's seen them. Where can I watch the game? Even though a quick Google search would tell you where. But obviously, this is a radio station, which the games are on 96.5.
That's right.
So it's like complaining about a Whopper at McDonald's. These things don't go hand in hand. They worry about the Big Mac, and Burger King does.
Yeah, listen to the game on the radio, but I obviously know people want to watch the game too.
There's a lot of people with Spectrum and a lot of people with DirecTV, and I understand when it first came out, they said this deal, but it wasn't a done deal. Like, you talked to Spectrum throughout the process, said, "Well, we think we're going to get it done," and you know what the answer was? Because I talked to them, and the answer was,
"Wait, hold on, stop. You said you talked to. How many times did you call
once
the poor lady at Spectrum customer service to ask?"
Once. I was just curious. I said, "Hey, is there anything done yet? Which channel will the Royals be on?" Because looking at the guide, FanDuel TV still, which that was the place you're supposed to watch it, still had the Oklahoma City Thunder on Friday. I said, I asked this question, has the deal been done with Major League Baseball and the teams for the 9 teams to be on Spectrum still? Because they said this was part of the deal and going to be happening. Is this going to be true? And you know what the answer I got was? Because on this channel here, that you have it right here, on, it was a replay of the Royals game, not live. It was a replay only on Saturday. I said, "Did you get the deal done?" You know what their answer was? No, the deal's not done yet. The deal is still negotiations. It was maybe going to be done Thursday.
But it's done now. It doesn't matter. It's done now.
And hopefully done by the start of the season. There was a chance this thing did drag on into the season, which we've seen this happen with teams in college football, like what happened with YouTube. We've seen this stuff happen, or losing channels.
That was a carriage dispute of an existing contract, though.
Because they haven't got the deal done. We've seen football ripped from YouTube, like you saw.
I know, but
We've seen football
the deal
ripped
is done, though.
I know, but these things could have lingered into the season. So the good news is they got it done, and they got it done right before the season started. So waiting till the last minute, this is Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve, is what they did.
Did anybody miss anything? Did anybody miss a single game?
No, they didn't, but they got the deal done, and that's music to a lot of people's ears. They don't, because I knew so many people were worried about, do I need to go out and spend that $99 now, MLB.tv? And I said, well, where did you watch them last year?
Yeah, same
spot.
Were
you able to watch them last year? Because they will probably have this deal done at some point. I don't know what channel, because they did move the channel, because last year the Royals were on 59 right here in this studio. It's moved to 305 now. Yeah. So where is it moving to? But the deal was not done until yesterday.
Yeah, you might be correct that literally the document wasn't signed. But we had Colin Maxey on from the Royals, the president of business operations, back I don't know, early February maybe, let's call it. And at that time, he said they weren't ready to officially announce it, but if you were able to watch it on, let's say, Spectrum last year, their expectation is that you would. So this is not like some surprising. This was always probably going to be the end game. Yes, the official announcement didn't happen until today. I'm just trying to figure out, you were literally watching the blank screen to see if it was switching?
We were just having fun with it. We're having fun. But here's the thing. You know it because you're on top of the TV stuff because it's what we do. But think about a large percentage of people in this town that consume the Royals. They didn't know. They might not have heard Colin Maxey talk about the fact they're going to carry. So there was some uncertainty where people were going to be able to watch.
But you're acting like you didn't know.
Because I had listeners text in, where can I watch Royals? I say, I think it's going to be Spectrum. It should. Colin Maxey did say this back in the day. I remember when you guys had him on. I said that it should be here. I say should be. That's the operative word. It should be. But the negotiation's not final. Because, again, I've seen stuff ripped from YouTube or Spectrum when it comes to football in the past. So nothing's a guarantee until it's signed. But they got the deal done right on the actual true opening day yesterday with the Yankees and Giants. So they did wait till the last minute. But, yeah, we waited for it to happen because people were curious.
People were curious about it, and it's going to set up just like it was last year.
Perfect. So this way. So MLB.TV, you can still go out and buy that. You're still paying for it anyway. Whether you're buying it through the subscriber, you're still paying the money for it. So don't look at it, you just got a gift and you're getting it free. You have to have a special package to get the different games in baseball. So you are still paying for it.
Correct.
So I just kind of waited for that minute.
You were just watching the blank screen.
Well, here's the thing. Well, the DirecTV announcement came out right in the middle of the show. I'm like,
you were on last
Spectrum
night, yeah.
So then I flipped it. Yeah, I was on last night. And I flipped to the Spectrum. I said, they went from a blank screen to now a Royals.
True, we're leaving it on the screen. You can't see the TVs. We got both our TVs. It is just on a screen with them panning down. Like it's just a slow-mo of dirt, and it just says next game telecast. Bink wants me to leave it on this station.
Actually, I want you to flip it to NBC at noon so we can watch.
Well, yeah, Paul Skeens is about to pitch. That is true. First game of the day.
On NBC?
It'll be on NBC
Channel 13,
and Peacock or whatever. Bink has been locked into this all morning.
It sounds like it.
Well, no, you understand. This has been a thing with the station forever where people want to know where to watch games. I mean, this is something people have been
we should have.
last decade.
I got a new bid idea. We got to have like the Bink hotline, and people can just get a direct line to you. They got questions about the TV, draft, whatever, and it's just a direct line to you. You can choose whether or not you respond back, but like you just get, it's just the Bink voicemail.
This was
it's just a Bink voicemail. They only can leave questions for Jay Bink.
Like Ask Russell Wilson?
Yeah, it's just for Bink. We'll have you record a pre-recorded message. Hey guys, it's Bink, yada, yada, yada. Leave a message. I'll try to get back to you. And you choose if you get back to people. It could be about anything. It could be the draft questions. People can run their mock draft bot. It could be anything. I think we start up the mock. We do this in Bink. I don't know. You should do it separate from the station if you want. Start charging people $2.99 or whatever per message, and you can make some money. You know.
This was the white smoke coming up, where a new pope was announced when they put that Royals baseball on there. That was the smoke signal that Spectrum threw out there when they put that Royals logo on there. It's the only thing that they're showing. There's no other content.
So we don't. I don't.
Cody Gold
TV box froze up, Bink.
I don't think Gold. It's because the channel. I don't think Gold has Spectrum or DirecTV. I don't. You sound like, I don't know if other people who have Spectrum and DirecTV were like you, Bink, but the fact that you went as far as to make a phone call as well shows your dedication to the Royals. Actually might be more, I don't know if it's more than Cody Tapp, but I would say you calling Spectrum and trying to figure out the channel situation. You might be the most dedicated Royals fan here outside of Josh Vernier and maybe Cody.
Well,
but maybe more dedicated than Cody to do that.
Within the different markets made that phone call asking, are you going to be showing these games or not, or do I need to buy the MLB?
Or you just go and download the Royals TV app and sign up for a subscriction and you're good.
But if you're already paying for it,
majority of people do that.
So if you're already paying for it, but yes, that is a common interest. Where can I view the games? You know how it works. You know how Gold people ask you all the time, where's that game? Just Google search, because you can do it real easily now with AI.
Bink, we got this figured out. People have given you a name suggestion for it. Think Bink instead of Think Tank. It's just going to be a Think Bink. And it's just going to be a direct short digit code that we have people that can directly text you and you choose to respond. I kind of like
How many of those will you answer, Bink? Are you going to be dedicated to answer every single message, or are you...
Sure.
He's a man of the people. He'll answer whatever questions.
I love the people.
Yeah,
sports, sexual questions, anything.
Bink, crazy.
Bink is on top of it. Well, you've committed to that. You know, you've been able to commit to that on this show before as well. So I think
multiple times.
Yeah. You know.
She's got a little bit of Alex Gold in her. You know.
Up next, we get to the 11 o'clock hour.
You've turned heel. This is true. Dusty's right.
Opening night baseball, Netflix, a couple blunders yesterday, and there's a leak involving the Royal City Connect jerseys. Have you guys seen these? We'll discuss it next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Cole Reagans, and you're listening to Cody and Gold. Weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Well, after the show today, the top on the Bronco is coming off. It's going to be like 90-plus degrees outside. I cannot wait till about 2:05 and drive around in the Bronco. It's one of my favorite things about driving this vehicle is the ability to, look, some of you maybe go off-road. I haven't really been doing that, but it's the ability to just enjoy the elements, whether it's nice weather or it was back in January, the first week I was driving the Bronco from Shawnee Mission Ford when we actually had snow on the ground. And it handled the best I've ever had when it comes to a vehicle in the snow. It has everything you could possibly want, no matter what time of year it is, what the weather is outside. And right now over at Shawnee Mission Ford, if you're also thinking about driving a different vehicle other than the Bronco, maybe you saw me driving the F-150 and you said, man, that looks like an amazing truck. I want to test drive that vehicle. Well, now's a great time to go to Shawnee Mission Ford because it is truck month, and they're trying to make it the best truck month ever. They've got 2025 F-150s, 0% for 60 months, 90 days till that first payment. Plus, you're still going to get the large discounts and the no-charge lifetime warranty. And don't forget about the Maverick as well, which now has $3,000 off MSRP. So you can head into Shawnee Mission Ford, test drive a vehicle, take advantage of truck month now till the end of March. Shawnee Mission Ford is on a mission to do more in 26.
Well, we finally made it. It's spring, and I have spring fever. I love getting outside and cooking on the flat top or the grill, and Hy-Vee has the best meat department in KC. They've got the freshest, top-quality cuts of corn-fed beef from the Midwest and the best prices in town. They also have bacon-wrapped chicken breast and stuffed pork chops, plus the fresh seafood we love at home. Making a meal with a twice-baked potato. It's the best meat department in town. They've got the steaks, they've got the chicken, they've got the seafood, and you can get it only at Hy-Vee.
3, 2, 1. It's mid-March, and Kansas City is crazy about college hoops. Pick your bracket, call your friends, and count on Hy-Vee for all your game day snacks. Hy-Vee makes your watch party easy with a huge selection of ready-to-serve party trays, boneless wings, barbecue, sushi, pizza, and fresh bakery goods. Order ahead through the Hy-Vee app, online, or at your favorite store. Even if your bracket is a bust, your watch party will be a winner only at Hy-Vee.
Feeling the heat? Don't sweat it. Turn to Comfort Systems Heating and Cooling. With temperatures rising, now's the time to make sure your AC is ready to keep you cool. Whether it's your home or your business, Comfort Systems services both residential and commercial systems across the Kansas City area. Call today for a fast tune-up, repair, or a system upgrade so you can stay cool all summer long. Family owned and operated since 1990, comforting people is what we do. Comfort Systems is right for you. MyComfortSystems.com.
I stopped smoking with Mark Patrick's hypnosis when nothing else worked. 1 year later, my wife Michelle and I attended the Mark Patrick Weight Loss Hypnosis Seminar. In 2 months, lost 43 pounds, and she lost 18 pounds.
And we feel great. Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis and lose the weight or stop smoking. Only $59.99 guaranteed or your money back. Hypnosis, Wednesday, April 1st at the Wingate by Wyndham, Kansas City. Formerly Sure Stay Plus by Best Western in Kansas City. Lose weight hypnosis, 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking hypnosis, 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
I built this business the old-fashioned way. Hard work and a whole lot of spreadsheets.
Yeah, about that, I upgraded us to Odoo. Odoo puts everything we need, sales, inventory, accounting, on one connected platform. No more juggling systems, no more headaches.
So it all works together?
Exactly.
Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
During Lowe's Pro Savings Days, save more on what goes into the job,
Add power to your lineup with a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5 amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Plus, get up to 35% off select major appliances from Whirlpool, Maytag, and more. Get the job done right. Keep more in your pocket. That's Pro Savings Days. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
African Americans are the most likely to die from colorectal cancer. So please, get screened starting at age 45. Now, Medicare and insurance companies are required to cover not only colonoscopy, but also less invasive exams like virtual colonoscopy. Talk to your doctor about your options. For more information on virtual colonoscopy, visit radiologyinfo.org/virtual CT.
Furnished by the American College of Radiology and the Radiology Health Equity Coalition.
America, look around. Everywhere you go, prices are still high, rates have been whipsawing markets, and the debt and spending don't exactly scream stability. Experts say diversifying with intention is the #1 secret account that all American smart money uses to hedge against instability. Monetary Gold has been around since 2000, witnessing multiple economic setbacks. If you call now, Monetary Gold will cover up to a lifetime of your IRA fees on qualified accounts. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Listen to the Royals opener in Atlanta against the Braves. Friday, March 27th with Vern's On Deck show starting at 5. First pitch just after 6. All right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM. HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey sports station.
All right, 11 o'clock hour. It's Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Drew Nixon with you. Jay Binkley is in for Cody today. We're keeping an eye on a press conference that's about to start in Jackson County with Phil Lavoda, the Jackson County executive. We'll let you know if anything notable comes from that. They're expected to make some sort of announcement about the future of the Truman Sports Complex. We were speculating earlier and taking your texts on what that site might turn into. It's 300-plus acres. Something needs to happen past 2031 when the Chiefs and Royals are no longer there. And so
it's going to be weird, man.
I mean, it could be a million things. So if it's something cool and interesting, we'll certainly discuss it. Either way, we'll pass along what the announcement was, but we're not going to carry it live because it could be, honestly, an announcement that they're having a warehouse out there. You know what I mean? So I have no idea yet. We'll see if it's something exciting enough. We will definitely discuss that. I think people, understandably so, though, are interested. Like, what are they going to do out there? And nobody wants to just have two buildings with weeds growing around and in the parking lot for the rest of the time. So
it's always been such a staple when you're driving back or back into town or you're going I-780 stadiums right over there. It's just weird.
Oh yeah.
Your whole
it's
life
going to be weird.
Up,
it's no doubt it's going to be weird.
Growing up, you've seen the stadiums right there at that place, and now maybe you're looking over at warehouses or whatever. It's just weird. It's just weird not having the Chiefs and Royals in that same spot. It just takes some getting used to.
Absolutely.
But that's life.
We still also have, 5 more years till that becomes
we get time.
Before that becomes reality. We will get to the trash of the day here in 15 minutes or so. You guys can always hit us up on the J Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. Video stream, YouTube, Twitch, X. You can see Bink's camo Chiefs hat that he's rocking today if you check out the video stream of the show.
I don't have the new City Connect.
We're going to get to the leak. It's not official. There was a leak yesterday involving perhaps the new Royal City
like getting
Connect.
the latest stuff, so I don't know.
I know you do. Well, we're going to be at Rally House tomorrow. Broadcast. That's a perfect spot to go to pick up some
money in Rally Houses.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You could easily drop some money when you go to a Rally House. There's some great stuff over there.
Drop some stuff at Rally House.
Get geared up for the season. We hope to see you at the Independence location tomorrow, off of East 39th. Just there. 701 East 39th Street South. And Independence will be giving away some gift cards, also opening day tickets. We'll have a pair of opening day tickets. So come on out tomorrow. Cody and I will be broadcasting out there. All right, Bink, though, let's talk about opening night baseball. So that was last night, Yankees, Giants. Today's full opening day. I know it stinks the Royals are not participating until Friday night. But,
yeah, JJ wasn't a fan of that, was he?
No. And look, I'm not either. I wish today at 3 o'clock the Royals were playing, even if it's on the road. I wish they were playing in Atlanta at 2 o'clock today.
With 100%.
So I don't like it, but we're about an hour away from the Pirates and Paul Skeens opening up against the Mets to kick off a real, true opening day. Did you watch the full game last night? It wasn't a competitive game. It was 7-0. The Yankees got 5 runs early, and it wasn't all that competitive. But I was intrigued by the Netflix portion of it and see how they would utilize it. They had Barry Bonds as part of the broadcast team, Matt Vescursion and CeCe Sabathia, Anthony Rizzo and Albert Pujols.
And I do believe Vescursion is going all the way to New York to the Mets game
yes,
today.
He is. Yeah. How wild
That's
is that?
insane.
He left, I don't know.
And this is an afternoon game. That was a night game.
He probably got on a plane at 1 a.m. or midnight from San Francisco. I guess it wasn't 1 a.m. there, and then, now he's in New York. So anyway, I think the Netflix part of it that was good was what I expected, what we've seen from the Christmas Day football games, which is they're going to have, there is a difference in cameras, not to get too nerdy, but they're going to have the highest quality cameras and the drone shots, and they're going to have the good presentation. I thought the graphics were clean and all the kind of nerdy stuff. The broadcast itself, Matt Vescursion is very, very good. I thought the studio portion of it, you could tell it was three people that never worked together before. I think L. Duncan and Barry Bonds, Albert Pujols, Anthony Rizzo. They had the star power. They had the names. That part left a lot to be desired. And then the worst part I actually thought from last night was we were all waiting, at least I was, I thought most were, to find out about the ABS stuff, the automated ball strike system, and who would be the first player to utilize it, and it'd be history in the first one. Well, they botched it last night. They, being Netflix, the first ever ABS was during an interview, and I know they can't control that, but they just kind of glossed right over it. It was already 5-0, and it was on a lead. It was a leadoff hitter, and it was going to be an 0-1 count. So it was a weird time to challenge it, but listen.
But also every one of their hitters is capable of doing damage, and he's got good stuff, so it's a battle that you're going to see each at bat.
I see your guys talking after they face Max Fried. What are they sharing? What are they seeing?
I think just the shapes of the pitches. I think there's a couple things that are different than maybe in the past, or some things that they've seen in particular tonight. So they're just trying to communicate and stay ahead of the game.
Appreciate it, Tony.
Thank you so much.
Maddie.
Yeah, that was weird.
Thanks. We've had our first ABS challenge.
So they skipped right over it.
It was a Tony Vitello interview during a game. Usually, as I said, these things are done in between. So I guess Netflix didn't get the memo on that. But these games on Netflix and the way these streamers do it, they're getting former players and stuff, but they're getting the ones that aren't quite as good, right? Because those guys are all at the networks or over to ESPN and things like that. So they're getting the other ones, doing these broadcasts. And ABS should have been, I think, more of a priority to kind of talk about what they're going to do, because it is going to change baseball probably forever, because I think it's a leap into getting to the robot umps with the 2 challenges. I think this only gets expanded even more. You'll see 5, you'll see 10, and eventually it'll be going straight to robot umps. I mean, they're not putting the toothpaste back in the tube.
One challenge last night. I thought we were
with
going to get more.
Yeah, but this will be more of a precedent for it. But the streaming services, you got to get used to it, because they understand live sports. Again, 93 of the top 100 programs in America last year were all sports. So it is. If you're not doing live sports and live sports right, and it's not a priority, you need to get out of the game, because this is where it's going. I didn't know if you know this. You know that the Masters coverage, some of it's going to be on Amazon?
It's split up among like 4 different ways to watch.
ESPN, CBS, but even Amazon's jumping into that. So now the streamers are understanding the significance of live sports, and we're seeing it play out more now with last night, which, again, I think ABS should have been more of a priority. And I don't think doing manager interviews during a game is a good idea either. But ABS should have been a priority, because that is a major change to the way Major League Baseball games are done. When you use your challenges, when you don't. The Royals, by the way, were the last team in baseball at 31% with hitters challenging. Now, defensive, the pitcher doing was much better. The odds were much better. Yes, the Royals tried a bunch of different guys. And obviously, WBC was a lot of your guys that are going to be allowed to challenge weren't even there for a significant time.
They said they were going to approach it differently when the guys that prior to leaving the WBC, they were having them use the challenge much earlier in the game because the minor league guys, the guys that are not going to be on the big league roster anyway, they've already used ABS, so they don't need to practice it in the 8th inning. They'd rather, so they were purposely having guys basically get comfortable with it in the 1st and 2nd inning. So they weren't using it as if they thought it was every single time the right challenge. So yeah, it's something to watch.
It's also going to change how you view games. As I was telling you that it's strike box. Yeah. It's very vanilla now with the balls and strikes. And you understand that, because teams could have a representative watching the game do some kind of a signal, because the signal can't come from the dugout. It's got to be only 3 people, the pitcher, the catcher, or the hitter, make it a challenge. But if there's some kind of signal or something of, hey, this needs to be challenged because somebody's watching it, because baseball teams, newsflash, they find a way to cheat. So they would find a way to utilize watching the broadcast and what a ball or strike is. But you'll notice a difference in the box. Some teams may not even have it. And if they do have it, you're not going to see pronounced that's a ball or that's a strike. It's going to be a guessing game because, again, it's going to change how you view the game because they don't want teams to see this inside the stadium, the broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, the challenge system we've seen in the minors, it's going to take 5 seconds. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see it utilized.
I love how they do it. They put on a scoreboard. They have a countdown, 3, 2, 1, boom. There's your call.
The other part of the broadcast, and we don't have time to play the 3.5-minute chunk of it, and it was a short inning, but they had Rob Manfred on, the MLB commissioner, during the Netflix broadcast, and they led into it, and Matt Vasgersian and CC Sabathia, they're basically making a big deal about, we had so many questions. We spent so much time before the game got underway tonight thinking of all the questions. We have so many. We could sit here for hours talking to Rob Manfred. Rob, thanks for coming on the show. First off, what's your first opening day? What was your first opening day? Okay, fine, whatever. Then the next question was, when did you fall in love with baseball? The third question was, can we get a 10-run rule? And the fourth question was, isn't ABS great? Oh, and there's the third out of the inning. Rob Manfred, thanks for coming on the broadcast. We know you're a busy man. You got to go. It was one of the worst in-game interviews with a commissioner that was obviously set up well in advance that I've ever seen. I'm sure he only committed to a half inning, but if you only had 4 questions, those are the 4 questions you were asking the commissioner of Major League Baseball. It was one of the worst interviews you could possibly have conducted.
Yeah, I think that was missing because certainly there was certain things to go on in that because people are curious. How is this going to change the game? Where are we going with this now that you're doing this? Because usually they implement everything in the minor leagues. They obviously had ABS before it got to the major leagues. Now the major leagues are doing it. What are we going to see? We start expanding the challenges because we saw in the World Series with the Dodgers and Blue Jays, towards the end of a game, there could have been a great challenge for a certain call. When are you going to use your challenges? When are you not? And are you going to expand the 2 that teams get? You get more, obviously, if you are correct, but 2 misses and you're out. So, yeah, I think that's a big part of the game changing that was kind of glossed over.
So Netflix next opportunity is going to be the Home Run Derby and then the Game Up Field of Dreams games. I'm sure it'll get better. I mean, it was cool seeing Barry Bonds and hearing him talk because we don't get that all that often. And I don't think he was terrible. The broadcast, there were just definitely some mistakes throughout it for Netflix. And it's their first go, right? It's their first go around. And it didn't help that the game they had wasn't all that competitive.
Trying a lot of different things, just like the skyscraper guy that claimed that skyscraper in Taipei. Maybe they should have done a spring training game or something, thrown it on there just to kind of get acclimated with it, with a few problems you have here and there of what to do. But yeah, this is the way it's going. Matter of fact, that game that we're going to watch here in just a minute with the Pirates and the Mets. The interesting thing about this is it's a Peacock game.
Yeah.
But it's going to be on regular TV too on NBC. So yes, it's weird to see actual baseball on NBC in the middle of the day. They have 2 games that are both maybe NBC and Peacock. So, man, things are changing.
By the way, this is for the one person in the text line that said, why weren't we carrying the Phil Lovoda press conference? This is exactly why we didn't carry it. He just announced he's creating a committee to determine the future. Hopes to have a plan in place by August.
Hey, I mean, that's even better than a dog park.
There was no announcement today. The announcement was that we have an announcement and we're announcing a committee.
He just went through and put some renderings of what it could look like.
Okay.
It looks kind of sick, but he said these are just renderings or ideas. So
okay.
I don't even know.
But they're having a committee.
I don't know if they know what they're going to do with it yet, but there's renderings that they just put up that potentially could be what it becomes.
But they haven't committed to what it is yet.
Is the dog park part of the renderings, Drew, at all? We're putting a committee together. That's great.
Can you confirm or deny?
I don't think they zoomed in on them, but it didn't look like a dog park was any of them.
I'm more curious what the Chiefs are doing with that damn flag.
At some point come out anyways.
I hope they come up with something very cool for the complex because it would be terrible to just have it sitting and vacant, and I hope it's something more attractive than just a bunch of warehouses. I will say, though, a big announcement, and then the announcement is just that, like, we have some ideas, and we're having a committee in August.
A little too hyped.
So that's why we didn't carry.
A little too hyped.
Good decision. Good job, Drew. I'm glad we didn't carry that.
Like the Chiefs have me more interested in that flag.
Yeah, what's that?
The Chiefs have me more interested in that flag.
Yeah, can we get to that in the Chiefs Red Half Hour? In about 15 minutes, the Chiefs did put out a tweet. We alluded to this on their social media account, and it is a flag blowing in the wind with a eye missing, like a piece of tape, but it's like a line. You can call it an eye. It could be a line. People are speculating whether it means they're announcing an international game. It says football has a missing piece, and there's a missing piece of the flag. April 2nd, 26. So that's next Thursday, a week from today. We'll get into this more during the Chiefs Red Half Hour because there is still an international game that has not been announced.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs do have Atlanta on the schedule, right? And the Chiefs are the road team. Is that correct? So that's the Madrid game.
That's what I thought first of all when it came out. I thought it could be international.
The flag that's blowing in the wind is not an all solid red flag. It's like the combination of like the Chiefs colors, but it's like you could also argue that it looks like the colors of Spain.
Well, there's 9
right, Bink?
International games this year.
Yeah.
They've announced 7 of them, something like that, or 8.
We still don't know every single one, but
it's a missing piece, meaning they need a wide receiver.
It's a missing piece. International game. Is it flag football? I don't know. People are speculating. We'll take your text on it. We'll get to that in the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Briefly, though, before we get to the trash of the day, excitement level on a scale of 1 to 10 for you guys, Sweet 16 tonight. I know there's no locals in it. We acknowledge that because there weren't upsets, the matchups are pretty juicy, and I think we could have a classic game later on tonight. The reason why it's the late game this evening, that's Illinois and Houston, and that's in Houston, so the atmosphere should be top-notch. But I told you the game I'm most looking forward to is number 9 Iowa, number 4 seed Nebraska, and I know it might be the lowest scoring game of the night. It might be a game that's, the total heading in is 131. So maybe that style of hoops isn't for you, but
it's the Busch Light
Nebraska
game.
fans, they've already taken over down in Houston. We know they did in Oklahoma City. Iowa's going to be traveling. I'm excited for Iowa, Nebraska tonight.
I am too. I think it's fun. It's one of those things. I asked you earlier, we were talking, when you see the regions come out for the NCAA tournament, you'll see like Kansas and North Carolina back in the day. And you think, okay, they could possibly get to the Sweet 16. That would be fun. There's no way in hell the tournament organizers thought that it would actually happen where Nebraska would play Iowa. And now they're getting it. And these fan bases, they're Iowa State fans is what they are. They're getting 2 doses of Iowa State fans, like what Iowa State fans do here for the Big 12 tournament. They're getting the fan bases of Iowa and Nebraska in Houston. It's a home run for that area. I'm looking forward to that game because I think it's fun. These teams don't like each other. It's a fun game. It's one game we never expected to happen. Like Nebraska never even won an NCAA tournament game, and for them to win 2.
No, it's amazing.
And then for Iowa to beat Florida and to get in this game, I mean, the improbabilities of those 2 teams actually meeting. How many brackets do you think actually had Nebraska facing Iowa that aren't in the state of Iowa or Nebraska filling out these brackets? How many people had this game going? That's what I think this makes it so intriguing.
Admittedly, I will be hate watching St. John's Duke because it's one of those, I don't know if you guys have this feeling, when your team gets eliminated from the tournament, I'm fascinated to know how the team that just beat you, like, do they go out there and they just lay an egg? Like, all of a sudden, St. John's just won't make a single 3 against Duke tonight, and they're going to lose by 15? Or do they go out and beat Duke, and you're like, wow, okay, all right, St. John's in the Elite 8? Because usually what happens in a scenario like this is St. John's going to look terrible tonight.
Yeah, because they don't shoot well anyway. They never shot well anyway.
Friday
night, sorry. Yeah, that game is Friday.
But hate watching is a big part of sports. Chiefs fans found out about hate watching because they watched the playoffs in hate watch mode. Like you're watching that game with the Broncos and the Patriots, and you're like, man, you're hate watching a team. You don't want to see the Broncos go forward. It's like when the Bills were in the playoffs. Chiefs fans had to hate watch the playoffs, so I totally get where you're at.
What's the upset? Did you guys have an upset pick? Like, give me an upset. Who's the team that's going to surprise everybody and win tonight? Do you have one, or are we going to get chalk? Purdue's a favorite. Nebraska's a slight favorite. Arizona's a favorite. Houston's a favorite. And, those would be the favorites tonight.
Texas over Purdue.
Okay.
11-2. That would be an upset going.
7.5-point underdogs. That absolutely would be.
I would go Texas over Purdue.
It doesn't count as one because I have Houston getting to a Final Four, but I would not be. I mean, Illinois is only a 2.5-point favorite, so upset, sure, but Illinois, that would, because they're playing in Houston, that'd be a significant one. I'm not predicting that. I'm going to go ahead and say that Arkansas gives Arizona more of a run for their money. I think Arizona's the best team in the country, but I think Arkansas covers and maybe gets very interesting late. I think we get chalk tonight, though, guys. I think Purdue, I think all the favorites win again.
See, the big matchups or discrepancy are what Iowa being a 9, Nebraska being a 4. And then when you mentioned the Arkansas and Arizona, that's a 1 versus a 4. So the biggest difference, I guess, would be 11-2. So if that would happen.
So I think Iowa beats Nebraska tonight.
All right.
Again, it's only a 1.5-point game. If you go back and you looked at what happened during the regular season, they split the game that Iowa won, by the way, 57-52.
So the total is 131 for this game, Drew.
The second game was better. The second game went into overtime. It hit the over, but the mixed styles, of course. I think Iowa wins. I think Illinois wins as well. I don't think that's an upset as much to like you said. I know that it's in Houston. Their crowd is typically good, but also they don't travel well. But they're in Houston, so I think that helps a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, I think Illinois is really good at what Houston is good at in terms of the offensive rebounding and the physicality. If they can make Wagler uncomfortable, then maybe it's tougher for them. But obviously, Peja Stojakovic's kid as well is a big-time player.
Houston's just been on a heater the last couple of years. I mean,
Kelvin Sampson's one of the best coaches.
Going right through
the
here.
worst he's done in the last, I think, 7 years they put up a graphic is the Sweet 16. So the fact that they made it there again just shows you how good of a coach he is.
Trash of the day.
All right, let's get to a little trash of the day here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold hanging out with Jay Binkley, Drew Nixon. Cody will be back tomorrow. So this has to do with something KFC is doing, Bink. They're giving away a pickle puffer jacket that you can actually drink from. It's a real thing. It comes filled with pickle brine, sliced pickles, and a built-in straw. And it's because KFC has unveiled a KFC pickle menu in the United Kingdom. So I don't believe this is something you can get in the U.S., but they're launching this viral pickle menu. It made headlines in Canada last year. And so...
Did you see the jacket?
Yeah. The pickle infused...
You can drink from the jacket, apparently.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
Would you have it, Bink? Because you come across as the individual that would actually rock this, try it, whatever.
No, I think it's stupid.
Okay.
I think pickle juice only belongs in Bloody Marys, to be honest with you. I'm just not going to sit here.
Do you like pickles?
Well, yeah, I do like pickles. Pickle juice is good for cramps. When you see people on the sidelines drinking pickle juice, it's to stop the cramps. But no, I mean, if you're doing pickle juice in a Bloody Mary, yes, that's a very good thing to do. But no, I'm not having a pickle jacket.
Are pickles underrated?
I don't know that they were overrated. They're just kind of pickles, They're just kind of. Do you underrate them or overrate them? I don't think I don't think they're either, Drew.
Because to me, if you go to a spot and you get a pickle spear, you're reminded of actually how good a pickle spear is. Like I think there's something to that.
No, that never happens. Actually,
really?
No, I don't see a pickle spear and say
a pickle spear is good. That's like a side to a burger and fries.
Or
nice.
do you like the Jimmy John's like
with a good deli sandwich?
Yeah.
If you're at a good deli, that's when I would have a pickle. Not on like even at Chick-fil-A, if they have it on there, they're great. Sometimes I'll say no. It just depends.
I normally say no to the pickle.
I mean, every sandwich needs a pickle. Every burger needs a pickle. I get that.
Mm-hmm. So you're pro pickle?
Yeah, for things like that. I'm not a pickleball guy.
I'm talking about the food.
I know.
Yeah.
So many spices and pickles sold.
Mm-hmm. Someone said, drink from a jacket, fill mine up with booze. That would be your answer.
It's a good idea. Yeah, it's the jacket I'd wear. I don't wear jackets, though,
Jeez, and there goes the one text message.
I don't think I wore pants this whole winter.
Which one?
Darren Peterson could have used that jacket.
Oh, he could have used
it. Settle down.
Yikes.
It probably would have been a good idea, actually.
Yikes. My goodness.
Can we have a conversation without referencing it? Like, I think this is... Darren Peterson will not be in a Kansas uniform next year, but his name will come up at some point next year. I guarantee it.
Of course it will. Of course it will. He's going to be playing in the NBA as well.
It'll be a disrespectful thing most of the time, I would assume. Unfortunately.
Yeah. And this is, it's a shame that the information that we learned late in the year was not known much earlier publicly. Because I think it would have done himself a lot of favor with the PR and the perception that everybody had on him. Unfortunately, the perception, became reality for a lot of people. And it's very difficult to change that. And I think the early exit from the tournament, while it's not his fault, but that only enhanced it. If they would have been playing this weekend still and eventually they go on a run to the Final Four and all that, I think you would have had less of those jokes happening for people. But
if I would have set the over-under on Darren Peterson assists for the year at 40, would you have taken the over or under?
Say again?
If I would have set the number of assists.
I would have taken the over for sure. I would have said
38.
If you said it,
definitely over.
I know. If you would have said it at 40
was ridiculous.
I also didn't think he was going to miss, 11 games or whatever.
I don't care how many games you missed. 38 is terrible.
Oh, sure. But, I mean, if I told you he was going to miss 5 games, you still would have taken the, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it's fun to watch. I'll give you that. It's fun. I enjoyed watching him.
I'm going to by the way, real quick, during the break, they did a zoom up of the renderings. I will take a picture of some of them and show them to you guys because they did a feed of it.
Rendering, is there a dog, a Labrador in one of them?
No, they did mention, though, in this presser, real quick, but I know we got to go to break, that they don't know if they're going to tear Kaufman down yet or if they're going to use Arrowhead as a multi-purpose facility. They don't know yet.
And that's the thing. Again, Phil Lavoda, the Jackson County executives, having a press conference to talk about the future of the Truman Sports Complex. There was no real announcement today. It's just, we think we could do some stuff. Here's a committee. We hope to have it ready by August to talk more about it. So, they don't know what they're doing.
It's going to cost us millions of dollars to tear this thing down, but what should we do with it? I like what the text line said. They should host Missouri State High School football championships in it.
That's not going to happen.
No, it's not, but they can spend millions to do that. But
up next, let's get to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Not only will we check in on Bink's latest mock draft, but the cryptic tweet from the Chiefs. We'll take your guys' thoughts and theories on what that Chiefs tweet involving a flag and a missing piece for next Thursday mean.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Right now, new FanDuel customers can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. Here's how it works. So you place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. You can even mix things up with same-game parlays for a shot, of course, at a bigger payout. So visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/local. Remember, you place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. So we were just talking about the games tonight. Maybe you do think Iowa can pull off the slight upset against Nebraska, or you think we're going to have an upset where Duke ends up going down on Friday to St. John's. You name it, you can go to FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. No!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026. Taxes, fees, extra.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out.
Leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Low testosterone can be a real problem for many men. It causes poor sleep patterns, decreased energy, low sex drive, and it makes it really hard to stay in shape. And as we all know, a healthy body is very important to our overall health and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if some or all of these symptoms sound like you, we can likely help you be done with low T. We can also help you lose weight, support your metabolism, improve your gains in the gym, and more with our new targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more. Our low T protocols, applied in conjunction with our body composition plans, will help most men see real improvements, true weight loss, higher energy, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and a renewed sex drive as well. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Future therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code WAGON for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WAGON for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's WAGON.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. Hey, it's Scott Parks, and we've launched Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's largest sporting event. Presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. Subscribe on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Chiefs Red Half Hour is brought to you by Leavenworth PD. Be a cop, be yourself, build your career at Leavenworth PD. Apply today at leavenworthks.gov/police. We'll get to Jay Binkley's character concern, Chris Unocero character concern mock draft. Some new trends also on the mocks of number 9, the 29.
Would you like the siren, Bink, today? I know we haven't done the siren for you.
You've been very disrespectful with it. You didn't do it the other day.
We'll get to it.
You guys mentioned that Alex and Cody mentioned the mock draft, and there was no siren.
Yeah, correct.
I wait for the siren.
Okay.
I wait for it, and it
So
wasn't there.
we'll be hearing that, I guess.
It wasn't
here.
even on a Wednesday. You could have just done it.
We'll hear that here in just a little bit when we get to
It's a bunch of crap is
the
what it
mock
was.
draft. But I want to get to something we weren't planning on talking about today. It's the Chiefs tweet. And I'll give them a lot of credit. They've at least got people talking because everybody's trying to speculate. So the official Chiefs Twitter account, it's also on Threads and any other platforms. It says, football has a missing piece, 4-2-26. Okay, so that's a week from today. That's next Thursday. All right. Football has a missing piece. Well, then there's the image of a flag. It's a Chiefs flag blowing in the wind, and there is a missing piece, and it happens to be in the middle, and it happens to be clear, and it's a long line, or you could say it's an eye. It looks like a piece from a flag football. It looks like it's an eye as an international. The two most popular guesses on the text line so far have been a women's flag football team or international game. Missing piece. The Chiefs flag they chose isn't just a solid red Chiefs flag. It's red with the blend of the orange and yellow, so it looks like what? Madrid, like Spain, that kind of color scheme. So that's the speculation. It feels like everybody thinks it's one of those two things. What's your guess?
My guess, honestly, would be with this push that they're doing with these teams to have affiliated flag football teams, and the emphasis and the pushing towards it, the Kansas City getting a flag football
missing
franchise.
piece.
I just think that it's going to be, with it being a flag, where they're talking about the piece, it could have done everything, anything for
I think
Chiefs.
you might be right.
They could have done a Chiefs helmet or anything, but the fact that it was a flag.
NFL Flag Football League.
NFL Flag Football League.
Heading into,
because they've been sponsoring. Like, all these teams have a flag football league. It screams to me by the fact that this is on a flag. It's flag football.
I think it's probably the right answer. All these teams are going to have a flag football team. The Olympics are going to have flag football in 2028. But it got people talking. Also, they've announced international games before. Why do you need to do like a flag and a missing piece for
the
international
NFL likes to
game?
throw those things out there. I think it's flag football coming.
People want to know if you have a flag football mock draft.
No.
You might have to start doing that.
No, I'm not going to. The
In 10 years,
NFL
when
Pro Bowl flag football is even more of a disaster this year than it ever has been. Put it in. WNBA All-Star Game actually had higher ratings than the NFL Pro Bowl flag game.
So in 10 years, when the NFL has a flag football league, you're not going to participate in a because this colleges are offering scholarships for flag football.
No, I think it's great. I think it's great. It's in the Olympics and stuff like that. I think it's great for the sport.
You're not going to partake in.
I am not going to be doing a mock draft.
Bink's going to be coaching the flag football team. That's the big announcement, actually. Not are they just bringing back flag football to the NFL or having flag football for an NFL partnership deal, but Bink's going to be coaching the Chiefs franchise.
I can only imagine the look on your face when your quarterback gets sacked or something like that. Like you would just be beside yourself.
Unless I had a Joe Burrow, right? He's great at it.
But you're not going to have
Tom
Joe
Brady
Burrow on
thinks
your
he can
team
still
though.
play. What?
I saw that.
Yeah, you can draft Tom Brady.
I might. He thinks he
At
can
that
still
point,
play.
Tom will be 55 or something like that.
No, just not. I mean, it's fine. It's fine for kids to do it. Then they grow, and then they get into the
you just don't want any
football
part.
whenever eligible. So it's fine. I'm good with it. Football's football, so I think it's great. But I think that's what this missing piece is.
I agree.
And I don't think it's we need a receiver. I mean, this dude is so electric when he has the hands on his ball. Luckily, I just said ball.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of with you guys now that I think it's just going to be a flag football announcement.
I think so, too. I think we're all in agreement.
Are they actually pushing? I know that teams have it, but is the league actually pushing for them to form something potentially by
the
next 4 to 5 years? Where
they're partnering up.
Yeah, but are they going to? I'm just saying, are they going to have something along the lines of an actual quote unquote league where every team has a thing?
I think that's where we're going. I think we're going to where teams have
technically a local partnership. It's the Chiefs branch of flag football.
They're the Chiefs. Yeah, that's it. I think that's where we're going. Yeah.
I think that's where, with the Olympics in 2028, they're now all in on it.
That's the missing piece. Not that we need a corner. Not that we need an edge. Not that we need a wide receiver. I don't think it's that. I don't think Chiefs are going to advertise we need a receiver. That is the missing piece.
There you go.
Thank you, Drew.
There you go, Bink. Just for you. Just for you.
It's not even a fresh one.
The mock draft sounder. And yes, this character concerns mock draft, I believe, is where we're going. Yeah, it's from late last week, but we haven't had you on the show. So
we need you to break it down a little bit, though, because we can talk about it, but having the author, one of the authors of said mock draft, I think we need to have some more explanation.
Well,
especially around Tyron Montgomery, maybe
inside of a month, Bink. Yeah, and you had a Division III player getting drafted by the Chiefs, so I need an explanation there. But let's
Tyron Montgomery.
Let's start. Where are you at? Number 9.
Number 9. We stayed consistent. We're not like switching a different player each and every mock draft that we do. We did Mekhi Lemon last time. We do Mekhi Lemon again this time. And the one thing about it, Matt Miller, I don't know if you saw his Twitter account the other day, because I've talked about he only has 3 drops in his last 175 targets, right?
Okay.
He's only had 1 drop in each of his 3 college football seasons. 1. And for a team that drops the football all the time, the Kansas City Chiefs, that is music to the ears. A guy with only 1 drop the last 3 years. And I know Jade may have had a good year at quarterback for USC, but that's unheard of for people just to have 1 drop per year. So extremely good hands. It's something the Chiefs definitely need. Guys that can catch the football and they can break man coverage and or block. And I see him as an Amon-Ra St. Brown type, and I think that would fit in the Chiefs' offense extremely well.
I mean, that's
and he fits that. He's not the 6'3", 6'4" type like you're looking for, more 5'11", but it's kind of what Andy Reid has.
Yeah,
it's kind of what they have. I mean, like it or not, it's what they do.
So he's clearly your number one receiver then
at this point.
At this point, okay. What could I guess truly like what could,
because we like an edge at the end more towards the number 9.
Oh, I'm not saying you can't change your number 9 pick. I'm saying out of the wide receivers though, what would change that would not have him as your top receiver?
I like
anymore?
him or Tate. Tate was the first one we did. Like during the season, we actually had Carnell Tate on there because Carnell Tate and Mekhi Lemon run the best routes and they've got the best hands in the draft. I mean, that's certainly two areas that certainly could help the Kansas City Chiefs that didn't do anything in free agency. So again, it's either draft a receiver. It's the only place you're going to get them. And the good news about it is you get 4 years of control or 5 years if they're a first rounder. So this is what they're going to do. They obviously don't want to pay the big money for wide receivers. That's why Tyreek Hill, one of the reasons that he was gone when he was first traded, because of the big money he would have commanded. And obviously they got picks back for it too. So there's several reasons why they did that. But knowing this wide receiver room, one way to bulk it up is through wide receivers. And I think Lemon and I think Tate are definitely there. And I know Jordan Tyson's getting a lot of run to be there as well. Extremely athletic wide receiver, and you're going to like him. But he's always hurt. And I heard you talking about all the injuries he's had. He has missed over 40% of his starts. I mean, that 40% is a huge number when you're missing 40% of your starts.
That's why I don't know if the Chiefs will draft him. Although
availability is so big.
That's why I don't know if the Chiefs would actually draft him. But as I've said with the Josh Simmons stuff, it doesn't mean that a player can never get hurt in the future. Josh Simmons ended up with a weird injury. But the Chiefs medical staff, in terms of draft evaluation, they've been very good at the medicals for that. Trey Smith, Josh Simmons. They've been
great.
Josh Simmons,
been great on that.
So that's where, if they were to draft him, I would actually have confidence that they're correct on the medical evaluation. Again, it doesn't mean Josh Simmons can never get hurt. He did. He got hurt this year, but it wasn't the reason everybody was concerned about the patellar tendon.
Because he was hurt at Ohio State because he was hurt in October, missed the whole rest of the year with them. It's a different injury.
Different injury, yes.
But the one thing the Chiefs do, and I think Rick Burkholder deserves credit for this, they use these top 30 visits a lot for medical type reasons, right? Josh Simmons was brought in a top 30 visit. It was a medical kind of talk with him. Mekhi Lemon is coming in for a top 30 visit. Carnell Tate's coming in for a top 30 visit, but oftentimes guys will come in for that if there is injury concerns.
Have they asked you to come in for a visit?
I don't know if Tyson's on there. I know that Lemon and Tate have confirmed they are coming in for a top 30 visit with the Chiefs, which you cannot work somebody out on top 30 visits. So a lot of times they use it for mid-round draft picks, guys you might select in the 3rd or 4th round. You bring them in and learn a little about them, talk to them, and things like that, but you can't work them out.
I'm curious. Does Will Lee have the right arm length? Because Gold, you were not there. Bink was telling me, he goes, "Don't laugh at me."
Oh, stop
we
it!
We were talking about Mansour Delane.
Don't do this to me.
Bink goes, "Don't laugh at me." But Mansour Delane has short arms for a corner.
He actually does. That is like seriously, he's got like the shortest arms. But I will say this: it doesn't matter as much with the corner.
Correct. Yeah, you did say that. I wanted to ask him.
But Will Lee is 32 1/4 inches.
5 inches difference.
Okay.
Mansour Delane does not have great arm length, but he is extremely fast at 4.38 40 that he ran. But that is true on Mansour Delane.
Would you consider drafting him at 9? Was my main question to you earlier. Like I know
I think
you want the wide receiver
in the draft, so yes.
If Lemon's gone and you're in love with Lemon more than you are the other receivers, you would consider potentially at 9 because I don't think him or McCoy, depending on how he does in the pro day, is going to be available at.
Well, there could be a situation where a team, drafting if Ty Simpson lights things up. He's doing private workout for the Jets on Friday, and you see a lot of, he could maybe get into the top 10. If he could, that helps the Chiefs having that another quarterback, because Dante Moore obviously changed that when he goes back to Oregon. So that could be a situation. Could the Chiefs still, if Lemon starts to slide, could you see that? I could see some of these wide receivers actually sliding, to be honest with you, before the run starts. The record is 7 wide receivers taken in the first round back in 2004 and 2024. You're not going to see that. But again, I think there's high quality as far as edges. You can still get at 29, but Will Lee is the corner we selected in the 4th.
Okay, yeah, we'll go through the rest of your updated mock. Where else we have? Second round, pick 29.
Pick 29 was TJ Parker, the edge out of Clemson. The guy's got a ton of potential.
Project or ready right away?
Can he be good? Just as good as, for what the Chiefs use a rotation.
Okay.
Because that's what they like to use on the edges. So I think T.J. Parker.
I know why you like him. His number one thing
two,
Bink mentions, long arm rush. That's why you like him.
Yeah, got to be the arms. Christian Miller in round 2, pick 48. And we have done him on a previous mock. We really like Christian Miller.
We've talked about him.
Because Christian Miller is a stud. He can do all the things that Spags wants. Again, you got to think about defensive line.
He's interior more, right?
But yeah, he can play nose, but 3 techniques probably where he is. But he has slid out and actually played the 5 and the 7. Again, you got to think about who's coaching the team. Does he fit into their scheme? Does he fit what they're doing? Are they Spags type of guys? Christian Miller is.
It sounds like you.
It's defense at 29 and 40.
Well, and then you go back to the wide receiver pool as well. I know that you got Kevin Coleman, which Mizzou fans will like, and then Tyron Montgomery is your crush that's late in the draft.
Oh, Tyron Montgomery, the division. He had 119 catches, 1,500 yards last year. I get it was D3. He did drop down from FCS, or he dropped down there. He stood out the Senior Bowl. I mean, when you're looking to say when do you play good competition, we played good corners at the Senior Bowl, and he tore them up. Like he literally did. Like Tyron Montgomery really stood out. Hey, this guy may be something that they have. So, yes, we took 3 receivers in this draft, and Tyron Montgomery was one of them as well.
Christian Miller, NFL draft buzz, Bink. Heavy, violent hands.
Love it.
Delivering real shock on contact. He lands a punch clean.
That's right.
Offensive linemen are visibly jolting backward, losing their positioning. Versatility to line up anywhere.
He can. That's why I say Christian Miller, you can do anything on the defensive line you want. Perfect fit for the Chiefs and Spagnuolo.
Gets off the ball with a quick first step. Catches guards flat-footed.
Wait till you see his second step.
Yeah?
Oh,
wow.
Hang on a second.
I think that first step is good. Wait till that second.
Natural strength allows him to stack blockers. He gets to peek into the backfield, Bink, shed when he locates the ball carrier. Problem, though, is inconsistent tackler. Gets tunnel vision at times. You get that? It says, here's the thing. It says, gets tunnel vision at times when trying to penetrate. Does that happen to you?
Go read Patrick Mahomes' draft profile. They'll tear up every single player.
I wasn't sure.
We actually go tight end in round 3, Max Clary.
I do not
You don't get tunnel vision?
No. What?
Sometimes I do. Yes, I do actually.
Yeah.
If you're locked in.
Yeah, sometimes you're
sometimes
focused.
You're so focused.
The focus.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Where else are we going?
You're right.
Thanks, getting choked up, getting emotional talking about these prospects. Man, this is a Super Bowl.
I am very surprised that in the 6th round you didn't have them taking UTSA's kicker that ran a 4.5 40 Bink and also nailed a 70-yard field goal. Think of the creativity.
True.
You can run the LSU little flip back over the head. Matt Ariza flips it back over the head to, I forget this guy's name.
Justin Fields is that Swiss Army knife they brought in, and then Tonga plays a lot of fullback and even did so back at BYU when he was there. Plays nose tackle, and they slide him there at fullback to show that versatility. They picked him up in free agency, so you have that already.
Bink's getting emotional.
Emotional.
Getting emotional talking about these guys.
He's getting stuck on the tunnel vision.
Let me give you a second.
Christian Miller
I think we threw you off.
Miller choked me up.
Well, I think you got concerned because this is a guy you mocked, but I think you misevaluated. You didn't realize that he gets tunnel vision when he's trying to penetrate defensive, gaps, and that's a problem for him. But where else did you go?
Another guy we mocked was Tariq Woolen, who got a big free agent contract, but we drafted him a lot earlier than where he actually went because he ran that 4.26. So,
what about later? What this D3 player here? Why is he really going to get drafted?
That's in the 5th round. Three other fifth.
But why
you're going to take more? You're going to throw more darts in the 5th round. You got 3 picks.
Is he going to actually be drafted? Be honest. Do you think he's could he just be an undrafted guy?
There's a good chance of that.
Okay.
But if you have an undrafted guy and you said, man, we should have taken this guy in the 5th, do you think Creed Humphrey's a 2nd-round pick? No. Do you think Trey Smith's a 6th-round pick? No. I mean, the Chiefs often, do you think Chris Jones is a 2nd-round pick? You think Travis Kelce's a 3rd-round pick? Yeah. What I'm saying is where you draft him and where can he play on your team? Mm-hmm. So oftentimes these rounds don't matter. If you fall in love, that's the player you want. It doesn't matter where you get him, the 5th or 6th round. There's no rhyme or reason. Oh, you have to get a 3rd rounder. Well, oftentimes guys end up being a lot better than where they were selected.
But I also don't want to draft.
You think Jalen Watson, who just went to the Rams, you think that's a 7th-round pick? Hell no. Jalen Watson would have been drafted in the 3rd round. Noel Williams, when you see a lot of redrafts, he's a 1st-round pick when you see a lot of redrafts.
Not wrong, but I don't want them to draft a player in the 5th round if we all agree that you can just get him as a preferred undrafted free agent.
If you like the player and you like what he did when you saw him going against great corners that can be drafted in the 1st and 2nd round, and he tore them up, it comes on your radar a little bit.
Yeah, 5th round, though, I mean, 7th round, fine. 5th round, though, that's not I don't want to draft players in the 5th round that I think are going to go undrafted.
It was a target. I mean, some of these other ones we liked a lot better. When you get later in the rounds, you take some more chances.
So what was the overall position breakdown? You went defensive line, defensive line, defensive line after the wide
receiver, edge, defensive line, tight end, corner, safety.
That's right.
Wide
Max
receiver,
Clare from
wide
Ohio
receiver,
State.
corner.
Yeah, we did talk about Max Clare.
What do you like about Max Clare compared to either other Ohio State tight ends or just compared to like Michael Trigg or somebody else like that who's going to be in that?
Well, obviously the production
range?
wasn't like you'd want to see it because he did transfer in from Purdue. Max Clare was more productive before he got to Ohio State. He still looked upon as the second to third best tight end in the draft this year. And the one thing about Max is, yeah, he had to share catches with Carnell Tate, with Jeremiah Smith. I mean, there was other talent on Ohio State that Julian Sayin could make a choice to throw to, but he's got good hands. And the one thing about Max Clare is the Chiefs run a lot of 12 and 13 personnel. Can it be that guy you expected Noah Gray to be? Can he be that Justin Wiley guy that you thought he could be, but even better? Is he the end-all answer? Is this the end-all answer to tight end one to Travis Kelce in the future? No, I don't think he is.
I do really think that I'm sure that the Chief scouts do this, but the way that you break down your mock drafts, not because with the mock drafts that we look at, like the national guys, they're not looking at scheme, I don't think, particularly with these guys. Like you're really digging in the weeds a little bit with Chris when you're doing these mocks because you're looking at what they do.
I want Bink to
what makes sense.
The Chiefs should bring Bink in just to do the arm measurements.
100%.
Well,
you should go around the office and do arm measurements of everybody in the entire building.
But it does matter the type of players because
Yes.
it's certainly a type of receiver. It's certainly a type of edge. The Chiefs, Andy Reid, when you want to talk about arm length, in his history at Philadelphia and Kansas City, they have drafted, and he was part of the personnel there in Philly, 34-inch arms, tackles, hasn't been any less than 34 inches. So he does go by that, and most people do in the NFL with that. Simmons was the one guy that wasn't, but it was close. It was 33 inches or a little over that where Josh Simmons was. But typically in the scheme fit, what kind of players do they like? The versatility to play the 3, the 5, the 7 technique. What can they do? But you got to think of the scheme. And as far as Ruben Bain with the shorter arms, what does Spagnuolo always preach? Arms up. You knock down passes. We've seen a lot of it from Chris Jones, even Omenihu. The knockdown passes change possessions. So that's another big reason for a scheme fit with Steve Spagnuolo.
I don't know how much money I would pay, but I think I would pay money to see like on Kuiper and Field Yates on like the mock draft. If they called you in and you talked about arm length, just to see the reaction of their faces of you, well, they aren't going to do this because the Andy Reid doesn't draft guys with shorter than 34-inch arms. I think that just to see the face,
Ohio State. I hate this pick.
just to see Mel Kiper's face, he might also respect. They might be like, "Oh, this guy's locked in." Like Mel Kiper might love you because you bring something up like that.
Don't think this arm length. I mean, this is something that they talk about, not only the team.
Course. We're giving you a hard time
yeah.
because it's been your thing for a while. That's all, Bink.
I just think that because hearing somebody on national TV talk about traits and everything, and then you bring up the arm length as something that teams pay attention to, which they do.
They do.
But I would love to see the facial expression
on
their face because you would be right in the fact that they evaluate those things. Just hearing it on a national TV broadcast would be
it's funny in the midst
interesting.
of evaluations you see from quarterbacks, and think about all the resources that go into the quarterback. They're talking to their family, their friends, whatever. It makes sense. Think about all the misses. Think about Brock Purdy going to the 7th round last week. They missed on him. They missed on quarterback J.J. McCarthy. They missed on quarterbacks all the time, and they put all the resources
Also some luck involved. As much as they try to act like it's there's also quite a bit of luck that comes into this, too. You're still trying to predict the future a little bit.
Chris and I have 3-hour specials every week leading up to draft, and we have 4 on draft week in here in 96.5. The one thing about Chris and I, we're not just, right before the draft to start talking about. We do this each and every week throughout the season, throughout the summer, where we'll talk about the players and the matchups they're going to play against, and you want to see prospects go against good competition.
Yeah.
You want to see if they're got, first and second round corners. You want to see what the wide receivers can do against those guys. It's just not what you're doing against Syracuse in a game. What are you doing when you play Georgia? What are you doing when you play against Alabama? What are you doing when you play against good competition? It's like Orlovsky when he was talking about what big games has Mendoza played in. That made me scratch my head. I was like, he played in the college football playoffs and he beat Ty Simpson 38-3.
There's a lot of people talking out of their butt.
Yeah,
they
I
talk out their
agree.
butts.
That's exactly right, Bing. It happens all the time. Up next here on the Chiefs Red Half Hour, don't forget, by the way, brought to you by Leavenworth PD. Be a cop, be yourself, build your career at Leavenworth PD. Apply today at leavenworthks.gov/police. We'll get to what's trending. I want to talk more about the Royals television side of things, but also the leak. We didn't get to it earlier in the 11 o'clock hour, but there's at least a leak about potentially what the new City Connects can look like. We'll get to that next year on Cody and Gold.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
That pallet of pavers collecting dust, the beginnings of a garden, those stray fence posts. Are you haunted by half-finished projects on your land? John Deere is here to say, not anymore. Our compact tractors allow you to swap implements easily, and they're backed by the nation's largest dealer network. You always had the right idea, and with the right tools, those projects can get finished for good. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/compact tractors.
Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Only $59.99 guaranteed. That's right. Don't just cut back. Stop smoking once and for all. Also, lose all the weight you want. Only $59.99 guaranteed with Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Let hypnosis destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating, and lose the weight. Weight loss hypnosis. Wednesday, April 1st at the Wingate by Wyndham, Kansas City. Formerly Sure Stay Plus by Best Western in Kansas City. 5:30 p.m. Stop Smoking Hypnosis, 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. Here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. That doesn't matter if it's the money line, the point spread. Maybe you want to play a futures on who you think is going to make the playoffs in the fall. You can do all of that with our friends over at FanDuel. You can even mix things up with the same game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. All you need to do, visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/local. Remember, place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets every single day. So it doesn't matter if it's for the brackets or baseball season. You want to be with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, and also the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
DQ presents The Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve. Plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
Hey, Kansas City, this is Cole Reagans. On your way home from the K, tune into Vern's postgame show right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC-FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti,
What's Trending is brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete, trusted in Kansas City since 1994. One contractor, all things parking lot. We start with opening day across baseball. It had opening night last night. That was the Yankees taking out the Giants 7-0 in the game out on Netflix. But today is the first full opening day. And yes, it does stink. The Royals do not play till tomorrow night. But in 15 minutes, Bink, we've got Pirates, Mets, Paul Skeens on the bump. A little bit later on after that, we got the White Sox and Brewers, and that means the local kid, Mizorowski, the Miz, on the bump there for the Milwaukee Brewers. So there's games throughout the day. There's also a couple games in primetime later. You've got the World Series champion Dodgers who send Yamamoto to the mound. A couple divisional games. The Guardians taking on the Mariners. But we got to wait until Friday night at 6:16.
And Tommy Pham picked up, the former Royal Tommy Pham picked up today by the Mets. He won't be playing in the game coming up at 12:15 here in about 15 minutes. Not going to be shown. The world champions, I think, always should be shown first. It's kind of like what the NFL does with world champions. The Dodgers Diamondbacks game, that should have been last night instead of on tonight's slate with opening day. But it is great that baseball's back. It's going to be fun. We get this, then we have the draft coming up. We get the World Cup. So many good things happening right now. But yes, I do wish the Royals were playing today. But it gives you a chance to watch them Sweet 16 matchups tonight. Also, what's trending, Gold, when you take a look at what's going on, the future of the Truman Sports Complex. Big announcement that was made saying that they're going to put a committee together. Do you have a big announcement that you're going to have a committee? We have an arm length committee. We have an arm length.
The arm length committee led by Jane Binkley. No, but Jackson County Executive Phil Lavoda announced he was going to have a press conference at 11.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be an announcement for a future announcement. Yeah. So they basically announced they're setting up a committee for the future of the Truman Sports Complex site, which is a very important thing.
Put renderings out.
But they're going to have a committee to create a plan maybe in August or September. And yeah, they had renderings, but the visuals did not reflect actual plans. So it was a whole lot of fluff. Yep. Hopefully they come up with something very cool, but they didn't announce a damn thing today, if we're being real.
I'm glad we didn't take it live.
Yeah, that would have not been a good press conference to carry live. Yeah, good call. Good call on that. Elsewhere, college basketball news, Bink, the LSU Tigers have hired former LSU Tiger head coach Will Wade. Yeah, remember Will Wade was the coach at LSU. He was on the phone call and NCAA pressure. They fired him. He went to McNeese. He went to NC State. Now he's back at LSU. He's expected to leave for LSU, and that'll become official later. It's nuts to think about the money. I remember who put it out earlier today. The money LSU has spent recently, the last 6 months. Lane Kiffin, $91 million contract. Brian Kelly, they paid him $54 million to go away. Their football roster supposedly is a $40 million roster. They've got a couple other coaches where they got $8 million buyouts. Will Wade has a $3 million buyout. It's just like, where's the money coming from? And then they complain that they don't have money at the athletic department.
Lane Kiffin money down there, man.
They better win in football, too. If we're talking a $40 million roster, they better at least be in the playoffs.
Lane Kiffin's got a ton of pressure next year for sure. Packers edge, Micah Parsons, with that knee, is supposed to miss the first 3 to 4 games of the season. That's the only... People heal different ways, but 3 to 4 games, that's pretty significant.
He had surgery a lot later. Yeah, remember, he had surgery. He waited. So Mahomes had the ACL and LCL, and they got surgery
next day.
Yeah, I mean, basically, in Dallas. It was Monday or Tuesday. Had surgery. He was starting the rehab process. Micah Parsons, I don't know if it was because of swelling or whatever. They waited, 3 weeks at least?
It was a swelling thing, yeah.
Everybody's different.
So... We'll see if that actually happens, but he could miss the first month. Thinking of injuries, bad news for the Milwaukee Brewers. Their star young center fielder, Jackson Churio, placed on the 10-day IL with a fractured left hand. He could miss 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's you got 10-day now, and then that can be shifted to later.
Not good news for the
not an opening day.
Brew Crew. Not good. Lastly, on what's trending, an NBA legend is now fighting Kayla Williams' trademark. You see this? So Kayla Williams is trying to trademark Iceman. Okay?
Oh, George Gervin.
And exactly. George Gervin, who is known as Iceman throughout his NBA career, say, whoa. Why are you? So he's fighting the trademark Iceman that Williams acquired this past season due to his late game heroics. Remember, he did the whole burr motion thing, ice in my vein kind of.
So he stole it from Trae Young.
So Williams recently filed 4 trademark applications related to the Iceman nickname, according to the Chicago Sun-Times. for the name, logo, and two silhouettes of Williams throwing a miracle pass to Rome Odunze during, of course, the win against the Packers. And the trademark would cover goods, services related to the nickname to be used in future commerce. But Iceman and Iceman 44 were filed 4 days after Caleb Williams by George Gervin. So
who has called him Iceman?
Who? Caleb Williams?
Yeah.
In Chicago.
It became the thing.
It's a thing in Chicago. Maybe not nationally. In Chicago, it is a thing.
I think if it's a local thing, it shouldn't be. You should not be allowed
how
to
about this?
trademark a local thing.
Now, I don't know how this
like
all will
that.
play out, but he filed it 4 days after Caleb Williams did. So what he's had it before Caleb Williams was ever born. He could have filed a
Sure,
trademark.
yes.
Now you're doing it. Like, that's the only thing where I'm like, I get it, but he claimed he first used the moniker in 1979. I don't doubt that, before Williams was even born. But then why did you wait until 4 days after Caleb Williams filed the trademark for you to try to file the trademark?
That is
like
weird.
he had he had a
Yes, that is
40-year
weird.
head start on the guy.
The trademark name has become big time deal.
it's big
People
money.
do it with teams.
Big money.
They trademark team names, and then people. How about the number 8 that's going on between Lamar Jackson and Troy Aikman and Dale Jr. and stuff
When
like that?
I hear
Number 8?
Iceman, I think of Top Gun. That's what I think.
Iceman. Yeah.
I think of the movie Top Gun.
When you hear Iceman, I think of George Gervin or my guy Terry Labonte. Bink was the Iceman in NASCAR.
Oh wow,
Iceman. You got to trademark fast, man.
I just think
Also, that
Val
means
Kilmer.
if this is getting trademarked, that means Drake's upcoming album can't be called Iceman. Then it'll be something else. Then because that was the plan. At least it sounds like.
Anything with Drew? Have you trademarked anything?
No. I have not.
Gold standard? Anything? I mean,
nope.
Nothing.
Gold standard. I feel like you could trademark that, but it's used so like how like what are the boundaries of?
But when
the
Alex
gold
did
standard?
it,
You know what I'm
he
saying?
was
Like,
the gold standard.
Sure, but I wonder what boundaries are there? Like because the phrase used, such and such is the gold standard and whatever. Like, are you allowed to say that? Or
Isn't 1587?
Well,
Going
that's
through this type of deal.
yeah,
too?
and that's some shoe company that just feels like a money grab, and they're also just trying to
It's
get
what the
public.
trademark
They're just
game
trying
is.
to, but they're trying to just get it. They're not going to win that. They're
No.
they're trying to just get attention. That shoe company or whatever it is. 1587.
That's what you got to do. You like to gamble. You like to prospect. Go out and start getting some trademarks.
People did that way back in the 90s, didn't they? With the .coms, like the webs. People were trying to like
getting
domain names and all that.
teamsname.com. Then everybody.
But I'm talking about like
buy
in the
them out.
90s. That was a big.
It was
that
a way
big-
for people
that
to
was a
make
big
money
deal.
if you trademark things.
Mm-hmm. All right. That is, by the way, what's trending. Brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete, trusted in Kansas City since 1994. One contractor, all things parking lot. Coming up in the 1 o'clock hour today, we will have a snitch line. So with Bink in, it's a perfect day to do it. We do this once a month or so. Snitch line Thursday here on Cody and Gold around 110, 115. Something that you've seen around town, something you saw Bink doing, something you saw anybody doing from the show, something you've done anonymously. You can text in a little bit later on in the broadcast. But thinking of broadcasts, we know the Royals, you can hear right here on 96.5 The Fan, starting tomorrow night as they open up the season. Vern will have his On Deck show. He also has his Hot Stove show, the last one, coming up this evening here on your home for the Royals. But there's been a lot of questions about the TV side of things. And I get it. Like, yes, listen on 96.5 The Fan, but I'm not stupid. People watch it on TV as well. And so how, right? That was the question. And we know the Royals TV announcement from a couple months ago happened. Today, we learned officially how it's going to work for those of you that still have cable, basically, right? And so when I walked in the building today, the first thing Bink told me, Spectrum 305.
Yep.
It's like, what are you talking about, Spectrum 305?
They got a baseball logo.
He's like, they got the channel figured out. And that is true. The Royals did announce officially how the television side is going to work. So if you have Xfinity, it's going to be like on channel 1262. And if it's Spectrum, it's channel 305. And you can look up. I'm not going to go through every single channel number. On DirecTV, they have the channel number. You can
I prefer you did.
I'm not going to go through every single channel number. That's boring. But it's going to be on Xfinity, Spectrum, Fubo, DirecTV, and Cox, in addition to the Royals.tv app, which is $99.99 for the whole season. So $100 for the whole year. Plus, they have, I think, a free trial for a week. So if you were someone that was watching Royals games last year on Spectrum or Xfinity, etc., nothing is changing. Different channel number. You'll find it in your guide.
That could change in the future. At least this season's on.
Of course, I can't predict the future. I'm just talking about this season.
This season, you don't have to worry about it.
And for those that were watching on a FanDuel app, well, you're going to have to go through this Royals TV app now, and you sign up, and it's $99.99.
It is not the
season.
same channel as FanDuel, though, so that's the thing.
Right.
It's 305 on Spectrum. Now, this makes it clear, this idea I had, since a lot of people are buying these packages now through MLB TV, that's to have an update on your phone whenever you get 3 players.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever they come to bat, it pops up on your phone, and you can either watch it or not. Meaning, like if Bobby Witt Jr. comes to the plate, you get a notification he's coming to the plate. And since you have MLB.TV on your phone, you can watch the at-bat.
Is that right?
I think you got to be able to choose like 3 or players, and you get a notification so you can watch said players. I thought about this, a couple years ago, and now it just makes more sense now that everything is streamed with these packages. You could watch certain players like, hey, you're at dinner, and Bobby Witt Jr.'s up, so you want to watch that. But yeah, it's nice to have this deal done. I know there's a lot of people trying to figure out at this point because you start thinking, all right, you kind of put it off and want to make sure you can watch the Kansas City Royals. Should be a good season. We're expecting a good season for the Royals. You want to see each and every game. Well, this is your way. Obviously, you knew the possibility you had to pay $99 for the package, but now you don't. It's like a gift that you just got.
So you want notifications when like Bobby Witt steps up to the plate.
100%.
So
that would get annoying after a while.
It would not get. You have to click it. You just swipe it.
After a while, I would.
You said this sounds like you. Let's say you're with your wife and kids. And
I don't have a wife.
And you're at no. I'm using this example. You're at dinner. Whoever is at dinner with the wife and kids.
Yeah.
Notification hits. Bobby Witt Jr.'s up. You would stop what you're doing and say, "Hang on, hon. I know you're in the middle of saying something. I gotta watch Bobby in his plate appearance."
I could put the sound down. But yeah, I'd do that.
You would interrupt the
I'd want
conversation.
to select 3 to 5 players, and whenever that player comes to bat, whatever you're doing, you have that notification. If you choose to watch, if you're in a situation where you have the time and can do it, I would, instead of flipping through all the different games, hey, there's Aaron Judge coming to play, or there's Bobby Witt Jr. coming to play, or Gunnar Henderson, whatever. Boom, you get to watch the plate appearance. Makes sense.
I mean, I can see it from a betting angle. There's some of the apps already have like the constant
100% for hits.
Yeah, I mean, I think from a betting angle, the apps can in the future. Some already do maybe, but integrate that way. But I don't know if I would want an alert every single time Bobby Witt Jr. was at the plate.
But again, you don't have to swipe it. It'll show up on your phone as an alert, but you can get those a ton. I'm sure you just get rid of them real quick.
Yeah, some questions people are going to have to, like someone was, how many devices can you use for the Royals? I don't have the answer to that. Yeah, that's something that
it was not in my discussion.
The Royals, well, no, they're talking about the Royals.TV app.
Oh.
How many can you share? I don't.
I called them too.
Some of those questions you're going to have to go to the Royals website. On the specifics, I don't run the Royals TV, and I have no idea. But as far as the question about YouTube TV, no, same thing. Cannot do YouTube TV.
Is MLB Network on YouTube? I'm just curious because it's on the others. I just curious.
No, it's not.
So they don't have MLB Network.
No, they have NFL Network and NBA TV. I don't think they have MLB Network. Look,
I
love YouTube TV, but it is a bummer that they have not been able to negotiate. This is not just a Royals thing. This is a YouTube TV with any of the other network or any of the other teams that also win in-house. They're not going to be on YouTube TV either. It's just it's a price. YouTube TV has been recently getting a lot of these disputes, carriage disagreement stuff. They all get in them. But, no YouTube TV.
They got Matt Vasgersian doing the NBC game, too?
Yeah.
That's what we were saying. He traveled from the Bay Area last night in the Netflix broadcast, Yankees-Giants, and now he's doing – and what is a TV frozen, Bink? What happened to our game?
It got frozen.
What did you do with the TV, man?
I didn't do anything. This could be NBC screwing up because they
don't blame them.
Focused on Channel 305.
Bink was staring at a blank screen earlier on the Spectrum 305 channel, and now when we actually want to watch, Paul Skeen's pitch to open up the season here – We can't even watch it.
Can you hand me that other remote?
Sure. Riveting stuff.
I'm excited to see what the score bug looks like. I don't know why, but whenever we get like a
what do you think of Netflix's score bug?
So you think my arm length is stupid and you're sitting here talking about score bugs.
I thought it was all right. I didn't think it was – I don't know. I thought it was all right. I don't know what you guys thought about it. I thought it was fine.
The presentation wasn't my issue with the Netflix. The issue with the Netflix broadcast was they had Rob Manfred on for a half inning, and they asked him 4 questions after saying they have a ton of things to get to. They asked him 4 questions because the inning ended early. Not their fault. But they asked him, hey, ABS pretty cool, isn't it? What's your favorite opening day? And we should have a 10-run inning rule, shouldn't we? Or 10-run rule. Like, they didn't ask anything about the big stuff that's going on in baseball right now, the WBC or the CBA issue, nothing. It was terrible. That's what was terrible about the whole thing. Not to mention they missed the whole ABS, the first ABS in MLB history, and ignored it.
A manager interview Tony Vitello during a game instead of between innings. That's that was kind of as well.
They've interviewed managers during games before.
Yeah, usually they do it between innings.
Sometimes they have it during the
Not
during the
during
regular
live
season. They got it during the game.
Not usually. They like to do it between innings.
I mean, even during the playoffs, between innings, but there were times where it would cross over. I thought it would cross over in the beginning of the next half inning.
Maybe the postseason did things special, but a lot of managers don't like talking during game, and I get it.
Yeah. Someone says, word of the wise, Bink, don't interrupt dinner with your wife for a regular season at bat.
I would agree.
He said for playoffs, go for it. But regular season.
It's one good thing about being single.
No. What's that?
It's one good thing about being single.
Yeah.
Not only that, have you seen this opening week schedule in the NFL? Plus, you get Ohio State and Texas that Saturday. It's going to be hard to stay married during this football season, especially during Thanksgiving week. My goodness. Have you seen the games? Wednesday night, 3 on Thursday, 2 on Friday. It's this whole winter.
Oh, my goodness.
But seriously, there may be a lot of divorces this year. Stripper, I'd love that. I'd welcome that. Come on over. Hey.
So you would invite people to watch the games with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
What if she likes baseball?
She could.
They used to have a matchmaker thing on MLB. Through MLB for the team. Like if you're a Royals fan, it would match you with another Royals fan. Like if you went to date a guy.
What?
MLB did this for a while.
When?
I don't forget.
When was this?
Less than 10 years ago or something. Where
MLB dating?
It was MLB dating where if you're a Royals fan, it would pair you with another Royals fan. Or if you're a Reds fan, with another Reds fan. So you find somebody with
from anywhere in the country?
I mean, probably locally. I don't know. I didn't know.
Because locally, there's going to be a lot of Royals fans already. It's not really narrowing down the field that much.
I was married at the time, so I wasn't that interested in it.
That's a good thing.
Then what happened?
Thank you.
Then Bink was too locked in on week one of football season, I guess.
Then arm length was brought up in the divorce.
Oh, was it?
No way.
She was concerned about your
All the
length?
stupid things I like.
Gotcha. Did you see the? There's no way to move off of that. Talking some Royals baseball.
Great segue.
There's no way for me to transition from that. Sorry. Should be able to figure it out. Couldn't for that one. The Royal City Connect jersey leaked out. Now the Royals haven't officially announced it, but it's been all over social media in the last 24 hours.
Suggested don't release it.
Have you? Well, the old ones grew on me quite a bit. Like I didn't like the hat, but I thought the uniforms were phenomenal. And
I thought the Royals were actually one of the top three.
I agree. Baseball. I think the uniforms were great, but like anything with Fanatics and Nike, every 4 years, they got to come out with new City Connects. And so at some point when the Royals they'll make an announcement of their official City Connects. What leaked looks like it's the real deal. This is not like some AI generated image. Like this looks like what it's going to be. How would you describe it? Because I do want to see the full uni. Like what's the batting helmet look like with it first? And even the pants on it, but the jersey by itself, not really feeling it. And I know they'll have an explanation for every little detail, but it doesn't look like it's even like the KC Mo original like blue and red from the city logo. It looks like it's purple. It looks like it's purple and blue, and it's very bizarre to me. I don't like the look of it at all.
It had the hey inside the color.
Well, that's fine.
Oh, did it?
That's fine.
I think they look dumb. And it's got like the city and it's making like a heart on the sleeve or something. Again, if you want positive or feedback one way or the other, I know they probably already got these jerseys ready to sell. They're ready to sell. I would probably switch it at this point.
I mean, I'm looking at the
I don't
image.
think it's going to be positive.
It just... Maybe the pants are going to be cool because maybe they're going to wear like black pants and it's going to have some stripe or white pants with the stripe. I don't know. Probably I want to see the whole thing, but this will not be one I'm purchasing.
I actually.
You like it? I could see Drew. Drew, I could see you liking this.
I kind of
like that heart on the sleeve.
Well, it's just like it's like the KC shirts. You know the heart KC shirts. I think it.
Oh, Drew,
it meshes. Hang on. It hang on. It meshes with the city and with the team, like the hey, the old school Royals logo, the heart on this, like it represents Kansas City. I do wish that
what if the helmet's white? Like if the helmet's white and they just go all white or some black, what would that do?
If it's all white with the helmets, then maybe it's. I think I would rather the jersey not be white though. I would rather it be a blue with maybe the hint of the purple in there, or I don't know, or maybe you just get rid of the purple entirely. Like
I would skip it. If I'm the Royals, I would skip this.
I like I like the details, but I don't know if the color scheme matches what I would do with the jersey. But I like the concept of the details of things. I just don't care for.
I mean, the jerseys are
for the colors. I suppose
they're going to be selling these at Rally House before we know it. We're going to be, by the way, at Rally House tomorrow, Independence location. We're giving away opening day tickets. Stop by, say hello. We've got a pair of tickets. We also have 4 $100 gift cards. Maybe eventually you can use one of those gift cards to buy the new City Connects. I don't know, man.
I like the new
purple
Saturday
with the blue. I just can't. I can't get over the fact.
Is there a reason that there's purple? Like, is there any?
Yeah, the thought is, well, we haven't got the official announcement, so they'll give the whole explanation. People were connecting the dots. If you look at the KC Mo official city, go look at like the KC Mo municipality. Yeah, exactly. And there's some similarity to that. That's the thought process.
Okay. I get it to have the local connection. Hell, you might as well throw barbecue on the sleeve or something. Have a real
Remember those
connection
hats?
to the city.
Remember the hat that never got released that had like the pig on it with the saxophone with the with the wrong zip or the wrong area codes.
What the Royals chose to do last year for Saturday games, it was going to be Saturday only at home, was the powder blue, and then the hat, the new Royals hat. I actually like the hat that they would wear on Saturdays. Then they started wearing these on the roads because the players can kind of choose what they wear on the road. If they're having good luck in a particular uniform, they typically stay with that uniform. But I like the Saturday look. I assume that's coming back.
I do
Is the
think
Saturday look coming back with the powder blue, then the white, the crown?
If they
on
had
the hat, I actually like that.
If they did a white helmet,
I bought that actually.
If they did the white helmet or the white hat with it, I think it looks really clean. And but I think that is the caveat, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll reserve my final judgment and opinion on it until I see the full uni, because maybe the helmet and the pants will make it look awesome. Just the uni by itself, I just imagine like going to a game, spending $200 on that jersey and just wearing that with shorts in July. I don't think it looks great. Now, majority of people don't like it, but there's a few people texting in from the 816. Someone says they're badass. Disagree with y'all. Everybody, look, it's a fashion thing, so now everybody's going to agree.
Don't laugh at that text, man.
I would just rather buy the Royals home or away jersey.
Oh, if I had a preference, I'm buying the powder blue jersey 10 times out of 10, yes.
Yeah.
But every team is required to have new City Connects this year, I believe.
I get it.
Is this better than the Rockies green jerseys, Bink?
No.
Yeah, the Rockies, they changed those up too last year. They're one of those teams that didn't change it. The Pirates were the Mariners too. Remember the Mariners were the black pants and the blue shirt.
That didn't look.
But the Royals did the Back to the Future night with the Mariners back in the day too. Remember Johnny Damon and stuff with the Royals, the gold helmets that they had for the Back to the Future night, as far as that's concerned. But no, I know the Royals had to switch them. You have to switch them. It's part of the deal. Every 3 years you switch to another, City Connect. But man, I thought baseball pun, but I thought they hit a real home run on the last City Connects that they had. Yeah. Look at the hey thing, and
that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's fine.
I like the details of it.
Yeah, they're going to have an explanation for every little thing on the jersey. Whenever the release date comes, they'll explain every little element, and they will have a valid reason for doing it. But to each their own.
I'd rather talk TV contracts.
I just want to see the full. I want to see the full. I want to see the full uni before I fully say I hate it.
Are you actually expecting it to enhance it? Because
because
that jersey is a huge part of the uniform.
For sure, but if the batting helmet fits and the pants do, all of a sudden you can say, you know what, actually it goes together. But as a fan, where you're going to wear jeans or shorts with it, I don't think it looks great. That's all.
Just wear your sunglasses on a Friday night.
With that,
just go with the flow. It's your team, man. It's your team. I don't really care about uniforms and talking about that, but I do not like
it sounds like Bink.
Rather talk online.
I do not like those.
Bink, it sounds like when you're watching Spectrum 305 and you see these jerseys, you're going to be disgusted, and you're almost going to be borderline not wanting to watch.
I'd be on channel 304 at that point, or 306. 305 might not be an option.
Well, you broke the TVs in here. Congratulations. Trying to watch Paul Skeens.
It's not me. It happens to do with the provider, because I had nothing to do with it.
Oh, so now you're blaming them.
This
I am blaming it, actually.
Is okay. I don't know if I like it as much.
Oh, you got the game on over on your end.
I do have the game over here on my end.
Alex, there's something wrong.
Well, you broke it.
I didn't break anything. I did not break anything.
Clearly broke the TVs in here.
I clearly did not.
You grabbed both remotes and it stopped working. User error.
They were next to you, and it just froze up sitting next to you.
Well,
and
that's
I
impossible.
asked for the remote so I could.
That would never happen.
Oh, and we have a home run, a 2-run homer to start things off for the Pirates.
Really?
Yeah.
We're trying to get it, but we cannot get the game.
They're
I
trying
don't
to
like that. I had a no-run first-inning bet, Drew. I don't like that at all.
The Pirates are trying to help Paul Skeens out now, it sounds like this year. You know, they're trying to give him some run.
He needs at least
support.
6.5 strikeouts.
I don't like that home run. That's not good. That's bad
From
news.
Brandon Lowe.
Yeah, there's something wrong with our system.
Up next.
I'm playing the technology.
Up next.
That's right.
We're going to let Bink figure out the TVs.
No, it sucks.
Maybe it's a good thing I didn't see that home run. And then also, we're about a month out from the draft. Bink's in the studio. So naturally, biggest concern as we sit a month out for the Chiefs and what they need to do over the next month plus.
What's up, KC? It's Carter Jensen. You're listening to Cody and Gold on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
Sex, intimacy, love. These three things are critical to a good relationship, and that's the problem with erectile dysfunction. It often destroys sexual enjoyment and intimacy. It stresses the love between partners, often to the breaking point. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with ED, you likely know exactly what I'm talking about. But I also want you to know that ED doesn't have to impact your relationship anymore. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts, with our focus on men's sexual health. We've treated tens of thousands of men and have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. I promise you, if you're like most guys, you can get your sex life back, perhaps even performing like you haven't in years. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to better sex, better intimacy, and deeper love. Call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Right now, new FanDuel customers get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. Here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. You can mix things up with same-game parlays for an even bigger payout. So visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/local. Remember, place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. I am jonesing for a Duke-UConn matchup in what should have been Kansas region. That one is a great potential Elite Eight matchup. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
I need a little ranch, step to the ranch, come on, meet me at the
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club Sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
On MLB opening day, baseball isn't just back, it's back on NBC and Peacock. And leading off, it's a coast-to-coast doubleheader. First, the Pirates take on the Mets in NYC. Then in primetime, the Diamondbacks visit the World Series champion Dodgers. Let's start the show. MLB is back on NBC and Peacock. Today, 1 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. Hey, it's Scott Parks, and we've launched Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's largest sporting event. Presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. Subscribe on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is what Bink is listening to, you know, when he's getting fired up about the arm lengths.
When he's filling out his mock drafts. When he's working on his mock drafts, this is absolutely what he's got rolling.
John Clayton and that the RIP in that commercial, you know, the mom, I need more meatloaf or whatever it was.
I don't think a lot of people realize that the open to your show every day, Alex, is actually Drew singing.
Yeah.
The very intro to your show is actually Drew singing it. I don't think a lot of people know that.
Send me the royalty check, please. Yeah. For that song. Yeah, sure.
Coming up in about 12 minutes.
Announce the TV is fixed, please.
You want me to tell?
I didn't do a damn thing.
You credit for that? You want me to tell everybody that you fixed the TV during the break?
Well, you gave me criticism that I broke it.
That's true. That's true. You broke it.
It just popped on.
You broke it and you fixed it. That is.
I actually didn't touch it.
You did.
Well, I did, but it still was. Please wait.
It's working. We are watching. It's nice to have baseball on the TV once again.
Get some skeins.
We're gonna have baseball on the radio tomorrow when the Royals open up against the Braves. But right now, Pirates and Mets are playing on, I guess, on NBC, and Pirates up to a 2-0 lead.
Which is a nice shift to see real baseball on NBC in the middle of an afternoon.
Yeah.
This is a nice
Not
little
like
contract.
That.
Yeah.
People were suggesting that you know all the customer service ladies, so that might be why you got it fixed. You texted her. You got her on speed dial after how many times you've called them up.
I called because we did it on the show, talked about it because people were concerned about it. I'm all about
you were
the people.
staring at a blank screen
He's got the
for
I am
weeks.
all
for
about the
weeks.
people. I also called MLB as well.
What?
Didn't mention that, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, their customer service says 9 Easterns when they open. That it's crap because they actually
this is
open at
something that would
noon.
be featured on that Progressive commercial, like with dads. Like, that's what this would be.
Oh, I'm totally that
calling
dude.
customer service.
I'm totally that dude standing out there like the commercial. Totally that guy.
Man. So, yes, the TVs are working. I'm glad to report. We got a Snitch line coming up in about 45 minutes or so. You guys can watch the show on YouTube, Twitch, and X, Facebook as well, and interact on the J Southland Tow Service text line 913-586-7965, including somebody that texted in and says Bink should take Cody and I's job and should just host the show. So we got nice people out there as well.
The last one says,
that suggests
816 says,
And,
I'm feeling disrespected. And that is true. I felt disrespected this whole time.
All right, let's talk some draft, though, Bink. We are less than a month out from the draft in Pittsburgh, and I want your updated biggest concern for the team as it stands right now, because I think very clearly the answer should be defensive line. Still, they brought in Tonga. I really do like the defensive tackle, nose tackle signing, but who else is on that defensive line right now? Yes, Gelati's in year 2. Norman Lott in year 2, coming off an injury. Karlaftis, but Chris Jones is a year older. Who's getting after the quarterback on a fairly consistent basis? Who's the guy that's going to get you 6 sacks? Maybe you're not asking to go sign someone to get you double-digit sacks. That market doesn't exist anymore. But who's going to be the guy that was Mike Dana 2 years ago when Mike Dana was a 5 or 6 sack guy? Who is that player? Do you think it's Gelati? Because right now, either you need to go veteran, Cam Jordan type, or you're backing yourself into a corner to have to spend a pick or two at the very beginning of the draft, which I'm fine with. But right now, that's the biggest question mark I have on this football team is the defensive line still.
Well, Andy Reid said a couple years ago around the draft, said you can never have enough good edge players, and that's 100% true. Gelati, all these guys were drafted for a reason. Like Gelati was a very good pressure guy at Louisville. Like he really was. We started to see it a little bit more, which are like, don't forget this guy had 26.5 sacks at Louisville. I mean, he gets to the quarterback, and so that was a reason why Norman Lott led the nation in pass rush percentage getting to the quarterback. So there's a rhyme or reason what they did. Yes, I think it's a glaring hole, but I would put wide receivers being a more glaring hole than even that. I still stand by that. And the reason, too, is it's twofold. You have Patrick Mahomes as quarterback. You have a quarterback you're never going to see again. You're never going to see that good of a quarterback in Kansas City, at least in my lifetime. And I believe in most people listening in this lifetime, you're not going to see that. So, yeah, who your quarterback is, and you don't have him the weapons at wide receiver to really accentuate that talent that he's got. And I think that's a big part of the equation. Who's he going to throw to? Because I think a lot of people look at their sheet. You see these mock drafts. I was looking at the biggest weaknesses that NFL teams have, and they put, where teams need the most help. And obviously secondary was a big part of it with the Chiefs, but not wide receiver. I was like, I think a lot of people look at Mahomes as super Mahomes, like he can throw it and catch it as well. And I think that sometimes people look at him differently, like he can make even bad talent good, and they put a lot more extra pressure on him instead of giving him the tools to succeed. And as I've always said, if you have an average quarterback and you put a great defense in front of him, you have an average, you give him that great defense. You have an elite quarterback, you take care of him first. It's the different philosophies on who your quarterback. If you have an average, run-of-the-mill quarterback, you build up that defense to be that part to rely on with your football team. But if you have an elite quarterback, put talent around him to maintain being elite and be a separator in the National Football League. So, yes, I agree with you on getting to the quarterback, but I think wide receiver is actually the biggest weakness they have right now on the team.
Yeah, I think the wide receiver part, though, is easier to fix, I guess. If you tell me that suddenly Rashee Rice is not getting suspended and then they spend pick 9, let's say, on Carnell Tate, well, then week 1, if it's Rice, Worthy, or Rice, Tate, Worthy, and Travis Kelce, like that works.
Kelce coming back.
With Kenneth Walker in the backfield, that offense, that works, Bink. My worry is defensive line is Bailey's off the board, probably. Reese is off the board. Maybe Bain is there. Then asking a rookie to come in and have a pretty big impact immediately on the defensive line is a tall task. And I still think they would need a veteran on top of it. So I think it's easier still as we sit right now to shore up the wide receiver room than it is the defensive line.
I still think with picks 29 and 40, you can certainly address that defense like we did, kind of looking at 29 and 40 for getting an edge. Who you expect picking at 9 to go out and give you those 15, 16 sacks? You're going to trust the guy that didn't run in the combine or this pro day either to be that guy, that difference maker in the National Football League, a guy that had 9.5 sacks last year in Ruben Bain. You expect him to have 16 in the National Football League compared to 9.5 against ACC competition. So that would be one of the questions to ask. But I do think that wide receivers certainly a big enough weakness. I think it's the biggest hole they have. But obviously, defensive line's right there. I'm not going to argue that with you. But here's the thing. The Chiefs were bad at getting to the quarterback last year, right, with 35 sacks. A team went to the Super Bowl with exactly 35 sacks. That was the New England Patriots. They were tied with the Kansas City Chiefs as far as getting to the quarterback. And 4 of the or actually 6
and the Patriots had the easiest schedule in the last 40 years.
But 6 of the top 10 sacking teams in the National Football League didn't even make the playoffs last year. So, yes, pressure counts a lot of that, too. What's the pressure rate that you're getting there? And are you facing a quarterback that can sidestep pressure and burn you like Mahomes can? Because he's typically, you look at the end of games, Mahomes is pressured a lot, but he delivers the football because he sidesteps the pressure.
coming off an ACL injury.
I understand
also,
the argument. I understand the argument for getting edge because they've got to get to the quarterback. But I'll say this: Chiefs were top 10 in almost every defensive metric last year, and 6th in point against. The offense was crap all the way around. That is a part that definitely needs fixed. And here's the thing: and if you think this is the end all be all, think about the things you were saying last year. Not you, but people that watch Chiefs or week 5, week 6 can't catch the football, can't beat man coverage. You'd go to halftime. And Travis Kelce would have 3 catches, and a wide receiver would just have 1 catch. It'd be only like 1 catch of production from your actual wide receivers. Rashee Rice would have like 1. And there were several games like that at halftime. You get there and go, man, no one's catching the football that's not named Travis Kelce because you want to run your offense eventually through somebody besides a 37-year-old tight end. That's eventually where you want to get to that have to rely on Kelce to do the end-all, be-all, which he's led this team in receiving. Him or Tyreek Hill in the last decade, to not have a 900-yard receiver last year with that quarterback, not having, well, they did have 700 yards, but the year before,
how much though?
They haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver forever.
No, that's absolutely right. How much is the wide receiver lack of development and the concern there also not only a scheme thing, but we all acknowledge Connor Embry was not qualified to be a wide receiver coach. Now they go and get a guy that is as experienced as
O'Shea
you can get
make a difference
at the wide receiver spot. I mean, like I think some of the thought around the wide receiver room is banking on him developing Xavier Worthy more in a massive year 3 for him.
And that's the hope because you heard about the receivers going to be in the
and if they draft one, I mean, and if they draft a receiver or two,
but it might make a difference. But what about Andy Reid? Can he change? Can an old dog learn new tricks? And that's the question because it would have to be that with the wide receiver because Deshaun Jackson had success as a rookie. I get it. Xavier Worthy had 59 catches as a rookie because he had to because Rice was hurt after game 4 and Hollywood Brown was hurt in the preseason. So he had to step up. Can he shift velocities and be there? Because it's obviously you want to see that with the running game and being more under center with the Chiefs. Will it go back and the wide receiver? Can you actually get a receiver? That would be my biggest concern. Will they still utilize the receiver because you didn't go in free agency to get one? Do you expect big production from a first-round wide receiver, whether it's 9 or 29? Because that is not the track history of what you have. You have to make changes, and you have to adapt. And he's shown that in the past he's willing to make a few changes. Doesn't make a ton of them, but that is certainly something that has to flip with the Kansas City Chiefs offense is his mindset and how he utilizes first-round receivers.
Yeah, no, I mean, they absolutely – scheme-wise, we've talked about. This is why, unfortunately, they didn't interview any other OC candidates. It is what it is now. Eric Bieniemy is back, and I think there's massive benefit in some ways for that. But it's why I would have liked them to have explored a bit more about other potential. But also the reality at this point is Andy Reid, for about 90% of what he is what he is going to be. There's not, the question is the 10% going to change, and is that 10% going to be a good thing moving forward? Fundamentally, he's not changing who he is, nor should he at this stage of his career.
He's had success, so.
Absolutely. It's hard to ask for a ton of change, but a season like last year might prompt you to do that. I do think from a coaching staff hiring element, the offensive staff, you couldn't have changed more than any more than what they've done. Right? Andy Reid was never giving up play calling. So they bring in Eric Bieniemy. Yes, it's a familiar face, but They wouldn't have a new running back coach, have a new wide receiver coach. They got some other new quality control guys. Like they did turn over the staff more than you typically would see for a team with retaining their head coach, which obviously they were in Andy Reid. So we'll talk more about this as we get closer to the draft. But don't forget to check out the Character Concerns crew, Bink and Chris and Osero, doing a good job on that. What, next week maybe you guys will have a new one, new mock?
Well, Thursday night there will be a week from the night, 3-hour draft special.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
All right, let's get to it.
Random question.
Random question of the day, 913-586-7965. Drew has the keys for the random question today.
Yes, this one is not necessarily going to be a deep question, so you can go ahead and make jokes if you want to.
What about your favorite desk? Bink's favorite.
Oh, that was a great question, man. Drew's had some really good ones. I've had terrible ones. You might be worse.
Let's see. Let's find out.
I did not come up with the desk question, by the way.
That was mine. Spur of the moment. That was because it's because there was who was it? Were they selling Bill Self's desk?
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah,
I think that's what it was.
They were selling a coach's desk.
They sold it a year early.
So my question was:
if he retires, would you buy that desk?
Shout out to ChatGPT for helping me with this question. This is a random one, a very random one. If you could swap voices with anybody for a day.
Swap voices.
Who would you swap voices with?
Wow.
913-586-7965.
I mean, Morgan Freeman's voice is incredible, but I don't know if I would swap voices. But his voice is incredible. Oh man, yeah, Morgan Freeman's high on the list. I would say.
Yeah.
Madden.
John Madden.
John Madden.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah. It's like this guy comes back from the back of the booth and he comes in here, his belly's all flipping around, and he's sitting there, and then you circle the belly and you look at that and you go, boom. 10, 9, 8, 7, go. You're an idiot. That was a great call. It was someone
John Madden.
that was from the Chiefs
Morgan
post
Freeman
game
is the number one answer.
Fired Andy
As it
Reid.
probably should be.
So a lot of people saying Kevin Harlan on the text line. Yeah, I mean that's a classic.
Someone said James Earl Jones. Yes, that's another
that'd be
very
a
good one. I would have Matthew McConaughey, I think.
Really? All right.
If it wasn't Morgan Freeman. All right.
I could see you as Beavis.
Yeah.
I could see Drew as Beavis. What's up, buddy?
No.
I could totally see
I've never
you as
watched
Beavis.
that show, by the way.
I could totally see you as Beavis.
Someone said they would take Jay Binkley's voice.
How about that, Bink?
Yeah.
He doesn't sound impressed. Jim Nance.
Paul Skeens, by the way, just getting completely rocked in the first inning.
Yeah, he's already up to 30-plus pitches.
Yeah.
Hope he gets to my 6.5 strikeouts.
Someone said they would have Mac's voice just for the laugh. There you go.
Mac does have a great laugh. He's usually always
text
giggling in the background whenever Drew's talking at the beginning of the show. Whenever
Denny,
we have that.
Denny Matthews has a great voice.
Well, yeah.
That'd be good. Or Mitch Holthus. Touchdown, Kansas City.
I love to laugh. Ha, 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 ha.
How about Cody's singing voice?
I might pass on that. Sorry, Cody.
I love Drew's hesitation. Drew's hesitation on that immediately. I don't know. I'm not sure.
You said something earlier that was interesting. You've never seen Beavis and Butthead.
Guy.
Are you serious? You've never seen Beavis and Butthead at all?
I know what it is, but I've never seen an episode.
This generation, man.
People are saying you guys aren't mentioning enough singers. You just switched to singers.
Oh, and if I had a singing voice, yes, I'm changing to some people. I'm not.
Who's your singing voice, Drew?
I would be who would I swap voices with to have singing? It would be I'm not gonna say this person because it would be
controversial.
Controversial.
Yeah, because people wouldn't mention the singing voice. People wouldn't mention the singing voice.
Huh?
I would do Chris Brown in a heartbeat. Chris Brown would be.
Oh, okay.
CC Breezy would be do it in a heartbeat. He would be the singing voice.
Controversial.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Someone said Josh Vernier's voice.
Vern's got a good voice. Yeah, Vern's got a good radio voice.
Yeah.
Vern definitely does.
You just don't want his hair.
Jeez.
Someone said Noah Eagle.
What about Matt Vescursion?
You're way too much respectfully of a horde.
Whoa. Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Vern.
Someone said Jay-Z. I don't. Why would you? Jay-Z's voice, because you get the accent. Obviously, you know the New York accent, or Brooklyn, I suppose.
Do your British Open voice, Drew. Your leaderboard. That was a good voice.
We got a couple months for that.
We
got a couple months.
I do have a few months to really work on the voice there. Up and down for Pa. Rory McIlroy.
That's terrible. That's so bad.
It was so funny,
Rory
though.
McIlroy.
It's not even, but that's not even as good as what it was last summer. It's gotten worse.
It was like the open scores mixed in with Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Yeah, it's gotten worse.
Yeah,
Thought it was better.
it's about a 15-mile-an-hour wind.
That was actually quality. Actually, I think I
Bunker
liked
Shot's
your
gonna have to be
updates because
quite
I was
nice.
sitting in here when you did the open updates.
Someone said Vern Lundquist. Yes, shout out to Uncle Vern.
Give me your-
Vern Lundquist's voice is
A lot of people
awesome.
saying Sam Elliott.
Give me your Blue Chew voice, Drew. Chew it and do it.
I don't have a Blue Chew voice. This is my voice.
You have a Blue Chew voice.
No.
Chew it and do it, gentlemen. Start your engines. Find that lady. Let's rock. Get some Blue Chew.
We're gonna go deep again. Do you mind if this is the social clip for today?
Don't make this a social clip.
Chew it and do it.
Don't make it the social clip.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Probably not a good idea, I suppose.
I don't think that's.
Holy smokes! Paul Skeens just got pulled.
5-2.
5-2.
Wow, that's not how
in
many
the first.
That's crazy. Yeah, he only pitched 2/3 of an inning.
Wow.
Would you ever have guessed this?
No,
That this would ever
but
have
it's
happened?
baseball, right?
Holy
It's opening
smokes.
day, but yeah, nobody. I mean, there's 7 runs in the first inning.
Wow.
Nobody's even giving him fist bumps as he's leaving.
My 6.5 strikeouts. I got hit.
No.
Paul Skeens pulled in the first inning. What would the odds have been on that?
That's crazy. I mean, I had no runs first inning. There's been 7 of them scored in the first inning.
8-1-6
figures.
I will take. I'll take responsibility. I did jinx him, if anything. I said, "Wow, they actually gave Paul Skeens run support. You know, the offense finally showed up for him, and then
100%
he
on
sucks.
you.
And then
100%.
someone said Sylvester Stallone.
The 816 says Vern surprised me from his voice to what he looked like. I think Vern looks like his voice.
What were they expecting?
Did they ever tell you that Vern story from the bar where a lady came up
Yes.
that had flash Vern in the little Vern's little booth?
Yeah. Yes. You've also told me the hot dog stain story.
No, I've told everybody that.
Someone said Frank Caliendo. Well, he does multiple voices. So which,
Yeah, Caliendo
which
does
of
everything.
Caliendos would you want?
His actual Caliendo voice, maybe.
Someone said Dickie V. It's awesome, baby, with a capital
Ben
A.
Heisler
Ben was so
Ben
good at
Heisler
that.
could do.
Heisler was awesome.
yeah.
Slam Bam Jam, it's the elevator
Like he
man.
was in a contest for
yeah,
that once and
Hi-
finished like first or second, something like that. He's great.
Heist can do a great.
He can do the Denny Matthews, of course.
Dusty has good impressions as well.
Yeah, Dusty does a good impression of
Several.
you. He does a good one of you, Bink.
I know he does.
Very good. It's spot on.
Is it spot on?
It is. I would say so.
Someone said B-Dub's voice.
Oh, B-Dub had a good voice.
B-Dub's like the you have like some smooth jazz playing and he's got the like the low voice.
Totally.
That is B-Dub.
Gotta have that love line voice.
So that's the random question of the day.
Hello, ladies.
With that
How
being
we
said,
doing? Hello, ladies. Give me a call.
What is going on?
Boobs are great.
My goodness.
you need to settle down, Bink.
Boobs are so magical.
Jay Binkley's filling in for
I
Cody.
didn't say
today.
that.
Yes,
That was
you did.
1,000% you.
Unless that was an impression, that was you.
Was 1,000% you.
I think I probably
reminder,
was.
even though I guess we're
Holy
kind of getting
cow.
into it now, the snitch line is coming up at 110. Can only imagine how that's going to go. Snitch line at 110
Holy
today.
cow, all right.
913-586-79.
Hopefully, I think the random question was
6-5.
good. It got a lot of participation out of it. So
It
there we
did.
go. There we go.
It did, Drew.
The cocaine shark didn't make it.
No, Drew. What's it? The cocaine shark.
Yeah, there was a story. New York Post had it that all the people in the Caribbean, there's sharks actually ingesting cocaine, and so they're acting all crazy.
I would stay
Cocaine
away
sharks.
from. I would not go in the water. I would stay away from the water.
I think it's interesting to have cocaine sharks.
You better stay well off the shore.
I love Shark Week, by the way. I love Shark Week.
I mean, I liked it back when the original Sharknado. That was a fun time.
Sharknado was awesome, but I have a Shark Week shirt. I love Shark Week.
Okay, I didn't know that.
You
When's the last
turn
time
on the
you went to
Discovery
the
Channel
to
and
the
you're all
beach?
about it?
Oh, geez, it's been at least probably 10 years.
So you don't like
17.
sharks that much, though.
No, but I have a Shark Week T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So I somewhat like sharks.
The cocaine on the sharks. I'm guessing this is just because
Cocaine sharks, because of all the
they've
cocaine.
been cocaine is falling off boats or something, or what?
That's what I would.
Or
guess.
the
partiers.
cocaine is anchored down for other people to pick up.
This is the
eventually,
headline
and
from the New York Post. As
and the
far as
sharks.
cocaine sharks are concerned, cocaine-fueled sharks are on the prowl in the Caribbean. Scientists blame partying tourists
Oh, they're saying they're just
They're
getting.
blaming the cargo.
But
wow.
for the cocaine sharks.
All right.
they're blaming tourists. Who, by the way, who's wasting the cocaine and pouring it overboard? It can't just be from the party. It's got to be because there's people trying to transport it.
It
And
says, move over cocaine bear.
yeah.
And Brazilian scientists have discovered traces of nose candy, caffeine, and painkillers in sharks swimming in waters around the Bahamas. So if you're going to the Bahamas, you went last year, didn't you, Gold? Were you in the Bahamas?
It was more recently than that, wasn't it?
He's technically right. Last year,
Did you have
November.
the idea that there was cocaine sharks?
No, I didn't see any sharks, Bink. It was very calm. The water was great. No sharks nearby. And I went on a boat ride and everything. I didn't see any sharks. I saw some dolphins. I swam with dolphins. No sharks. Definitely not swimming with the sharks. Shark cage stuff? No way.
You know about cocaine sharks.
I did not. That only lasts, someone said, for 3 hours, so you're okay. That's just what the text line's telling me. It said it only lasts for 3 hours.
Really?
Only.
Up next, get to the 1 o'clock hour. I want to talk about the Royals opener tomorrow, if we can get to that, Bink, if you'll let me. And one person I don't think is ever coaching in the NFL again.
What's up, KC? It's Matt Strom from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to Cody and Gold on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Feeling the heat? Don't sweat it. Turn to Comfort Systems Heating and Cooling. With temperatures rising, now's the time to make sure your AC is ready to keep you cool. Whether it's your home or your business, Comfort Systems services both residential and commercial systems across the Kansas City area. Call today for a fast tune-up, repair, or a system upgrade so you can stay cool all summer long. Family owned and operated since 1990, comforting people is what we do. Comfort Systems is right for you. MyComfortSystems.com.
Hey, it's Rob Britton from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And Rob, I'm Scott Parks from Dan and Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch KC will feature the biggest names who made the World Cup in Kansas City possible, plus the biggest storylines heading into this summer's tournament. This is not a podcast about soccer. Don't get us wrong. This is a podcast about Kansas City. This is a podcast for Kansas City. And this is a podcast that'll tell the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes will be released every Wednesday starting on March 4th, as well as video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ's social channels.
Subscribe and download to Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series with myself and Rob Bretton on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yo, Harvey, Zoe, group selfie.
Ooh, nice new iPhone 17, Drewski.
Let's do a triangle formation. I'm in front.
With a center stage front camera, everyone fits in the shot.
He got it at T-Mobile.
But switching takes forever.
Not anymore. Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes.
Focus, people. Nail your pose.
And you get a new iPhone 17 on them.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes way, guys. Switch to T-Mobile and get iPhone 17 on us. And right now, we'll pay off your old phone up to $800.
I'm grabbing my phone and switching to T-Mobile right now.
Get back, Harvey. We're taking a... let's go again, y'all.
With 24 monthly bill credits, finance agreement, 256 gigabytes, $830, eligible trade-in, example iPhone 13 and new qualifying line, $60 plus per month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees. For well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. $800 via virtual prepaid card. Card typically takes 15 days after rebate submission, no cash access, and card expires in 6 months. Check out in 15 minutes per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
On MLB opening day, baseball isn't just back, it's back on NBC and Peacock. And leading off, it's a coast-to-coast doubleheader. First, the Pirates take on the Mets in NYC. Then in primetime, the Diamondbacks visit the World Series champion Dodgers. Let's start the show. MLB is back on NBC and Peacock. Today, 1 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern.
African Americans are the most likely to die from colorectal cancer. So please, get screened starting at age 45. Now, Medicare and insurance companies are required to cover not only colonoscopy, but also less invasive exams like virtual colonoscopy. Talk to your doctor about your options. For more information on virtual colonoscopy, visit radiologyinfo.org/virtual CT.
Furnished by the American College of Radiology and the Radiology Health Equity Coalition.
Play ball!
Cody and Gold will be live outside Gate D starting at 10 for the Royals home opener on Monday, March 30th, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
1 o'clock hour. Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Jay Binkley, Drew Nixon with you. We'll get to a Snitch line Thursday here in about 10 to 15 minutes. 913-586-7965 if you're new to the show. Snitch line started all the way back during 2020 NBA Snitch line when they had the bubble for COVID and everything, and it became a running thing. We used to do it every week. We now do it once a month or so. Something that you've been meaning to get off your chest. Something that you've kept a secret, maybe recently, maybe for a while, something you saw a coworker do, something you saw someone do around town. It's all anonymous on the J Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. Don't forget, tomorrow, we hope to see you guys out in person, though. We're going to be out in Independence off of East 39th Street for the Rally With Us MLB Opening Day event. 4 $100 Rally House gift cards are going to be given away. We're going to have a pair of tickets to the home opener for the Royals on Monday, plus the first 100 customers through the doors are going to receive a Rally House Opening Day Scratcher ticket to receive up to 40% off your next MLB purchase. Rally House, of course, is your home for outrageously authentic Royals gear, on-field hats, jerseys, and apparel straight from the source. You can level up your fandom at one of their local stores or at rallyhouse.com. So looking forward to being out there tomorrow. And then on Monday, we will be at the game. We'll be outside Gate D at Kauffman Stadium getting set for opening day, which, Bink, I don't know if you saw. It's going to be one of the warmest opening days we've had in a while. It's going to be like 85 degrees on Monday.
Absolutely no
Today
humidity.
It's 90 outside.
Again, it's just like the other day. I know it was 94, but it felt a lot different than August 94 without the humidity.
Totally with you.
This is great baseball weather.
Totally with you. We also, later on this hour, we'll talk a little tournament as Sweet 16 starts up tonight and Friday, of course, and we'll get into that in just a bit. But I do want to talk a little bit more briefly, though, Bink, on a coach that stepped away. And I think with what just happened yesterday, he's going to just be in the broadcast booth the rest of his time around the league. It's Mike Tomlin. So we all know he stepped away from the Steelers. Mike McCarthy's the head coach. Mike Tomlin signed yesterday with, according to Front Office Sports, with sports media agents. These are powerful people in the sports media landscape. Alex Flanagan and Sandy Montag. This obviously is a sign in the short term that he's gearing up to be in sports media, whether that's a studio show on ESPN or pregame. I don't know who it's going to be. Amazon Prime. Maybe he's going to be part of the Sunday Night Football crew now that Tony Dungy's not part of it. I don't know where he's going to end up. But I think this is going to end up just like Bill Cowher, where every single offseason cycle, you and I are going to be sitting here next January saying, oh, there's an opening in New York or whatever with the Jets. And Mike Tomlin, you got to call to see if he's interested. And his name's going to get brought up for about 5 or 6 years.
And he'll get raised
and
years.
He's not going to go back to the league because for the first 5+ years of Bill Cowher stepping away, we all just assumed Bill Cowher was coming back to coach. And then finally, after like 10 years, everybody's like, oh, no, he really just is going to do this broadcast thing. Mike Tomlin's going to be great at broadcasting. I think he's going to be phenomenal at it. I don't think Mike Tomlin's coaching again.
I wouldn't say never. I could see Mike Tomlin still being the guy that wants to get in at his age. I could see him getting back into coaching because broadcasting will still be there. With all the demand for him right now, it's still going to be there at the end as well. And he's going to get lucrative offers. Now, the good thing is he's going to get raises every year because what's going to happen is his name's going to be mentioned and he'll keep getting raises in the media field to stay doing that instead of coaching. But at his age, I could see him wanting to take the challenge again, unless he's just totally sold and loves the TV gig and it's perfect for him. But I could see him being a guy getting back in the coaching, like Belichick when he transitioned and started doing, the Monday night show, the Monday Night Football show, or the thing, Ryan Clark, whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I think he kind of likes it because he's really opened up a different. Then boom, he's back coaching at North Carolina right after that. I just thought that going that route would be different. That's what he would have chosen, but he chose to go back to football at his age. I could see Mike Tomlin still coaching though.
You
make a good point, though. But
he's certainly capable and would have interest. Like next offseason, if I have an opening, I'm calling Mike Tomlin and making sure he doesn't want to coach.
How old
I
was
just get
Bill
the sense
Cowher when he stepped away?
Remember, Bill Cowher stepped away too because his wife had either just passed away or was battling something.
He's only 68, Bill Cowher. So
Yeah.
he stepped away, about 10 years ago, would you say? That was right
no,
after the Super Bowl.
because Tomlin's been there for
ago?
15 years.
No, yeah, okay, so
at least.
So he was in his 50s then.
Remember, there was also some extenuating circumstances. I don't know the exact. I don't remember the exact details, but his wife was sick at the time, or had just passed away, or something along those lines.
But I think he's going to be awesome, like you said. But he's 54, so going to coach again.
His wife had, by the way, his wife had skin cancer and passed away in July of 2010, and so he never coached past that. And everybody for years said, "Oh, he's going to come back. He's going to come back and coach." There were rumblings about him and coming to Kansas City one day again, and all that. None of that ever happened, and he's still on CBS's pregame show. So I could see that being the case for Mike Tomlin as well. But if the Cowboys were to fire, things go south for Brian Schottenheimer this year, Mike Tomlin's going to be the first name everybody's thinking of down in Dallas.
And if that itch is still there to go out and see, prove yourself with another
You
team.
get comfortable in the broadcast booth, making good money, way less stress for him. He can be around his family more, all of that.
But there's always that draw of, can you do it with another team?
Mm-hmm.
These guys all have egos, and they all think they can fix all these different situations. So to get another shot in another city, if it doesn't work out, he knows he can go right back because teams are going to be now with all the streaming services now hiring everybody and all that. He's got a job locked up, whatever he decides to do. Will he take another chance to be a coach in football? I think he does. He's got too much to offer as far as being the coach. I just think that he'll take a year, he'll go broadcast, and I think he's going to.
I view this different than Sean. To me, this is different than Sean Payton. Sean Payton left the Saints. He still had a contract as well. Mike Tomlin had a contract with the Saints, and then he went to Fox for a little bit, and he got back into coaching. I think Mike Tomlin's very content with just
but Sean
stepping
Payton
away.
used this as a step to the next. You can always
wanted
tell
to get out of New Orleans.
He's always telling he was a step to the next job because he made no mistake. He wanted to get back into coaching. I could see Tomlin at his age, unless he just really hits it off on TV and he likes it and he likes the lower stress. I could see him doing it, but he just seems like a coach's coach to me that always likes coaching. So I just don't know if that gets out of his blood.
And because Tomlin's always been good with the media and personality, he seems like a natural, more of a fit than Sean Payton, who we've talked about. Sean Payton's kind of a jerk and can be, and Mike Tomlin seems like he's just going to be very insightful on the broadcast. So we'll find out. Maybe I'll be way off, but I would not be surprised if it just goes the same path as the Bill Cowher stuff.
Like Matt Ryan. Like once he was on TV there with CBS, it's like, all right, this is
he wasn't good on TV.
And then he gets his chance with the Falcons, so that's what he does. Now, in the front office, something like that comes calling. Could that be something he goes to? I just think the sky's the limit for a guy like Tomlin. And maybe it's not coaching. Maybe it's in a front office. We don't know. So
I saw that news from Front Office Sports. Thought that was a little interesting heading into the rest of this offseason, and we'll find out. I'm guessing in a month or two what network he ends up signing on for. I don't know if it just be ESPN or for. My guess is it's going to either be Amazon or it'll be the Sunday night pregame show now that Dungy's off of it. Maybe they just say, we'll go from Dungy to Tomlin, which I think would be an upgrade, by the way.
That'd be cool to see Tomlin all the different games.
Totally.
I think it'd be great. It'd be a good fit for him, actually.
All right, before we get to the Snitch line Thursday, 913-586-7965. It is opening day across baseball. We're keeping it on the first game of the day. The Mets up 5-2 on Paul Skeens and the Pirates. Paul Skeens chased out of the first inning, just pitched 2 1/3 of an inning. And that's
Cy Young winner.
Struggled today. I don't think anybody really had that one going. You were critical of the 999 challenge that the teams are doing and everything. What other element are you, I guess, interested in regards to the stadium this year on Monday for opening day? Because the Royals every year they try to do something different. We know the big thing will be the new standing location because the fences are being brought in a little bit. They also are going to do the 999 challenge thing, which are basically mini hot dogs in a tall boy, which every team is doing. Or every team is seemingly marketing this more, but it's not the real 999 challenge. The other part of this whole scenario, I saw there was like new food. I want to run through a few of the new food items. What do you make of Hawaiian Bros being out there? Joe's was the big thing last year. Now we got Hawaiian Bros. I love Hawaiian Bros. I'm trying to decide if it's 95 degrees in July, though. Am I sitting down having rice and teriyaki chicken? I love Hawaiian Bros. Is phenomenal. I guess it's no different than having a Z-Man sandwich when it's 95 degrees outside of the ballpark.
I think some of the ballpark food has gotten real creative. Obviously, it used to be that you get to go to AAA to get the fun items or AA or something like that. But more major league teams are doing it. I think the Diamondbacks at like 3 or 4 look like they're tops in the league this year of what to do. But they've only do a good job with the food choices and all that. The 999 challenge is not.
See the Mariners? They're going to have a souvenir ferry food boat. Have you seen the photo of this thing?
They also have the fried crickets.
So they're gonna, they've had the fried the crickets, but this is gonna be.
I've had them before. They're pretty good.
Chicken. So it's a ferry boat. Okay, in the middle is chicken tenders, fish and chips, crab nachos, and this is in celebration of 75 years of the Washington State ferry system and 50 years of the Mariners. And every time the Mariners score this year, they're gonna play like the horn from whatever.
Hey,
but on the ends of the ferry, there's sauces, and in the middle is chicken tenders and fish and chips.
Getting too creative.
It sounds like a lot of food, but
it is a big boat full of food.
Pretty good, I suppose. Yeah.
You're paying
Boston's
for the
doing
boat.
the lobster poutine.
Lobster
Poutine. Crispy fries, lobster meat, clam chowder, crispy bacon, all served in a custom lobster boat. So it looks like it's just like a fishing boat. Like you go out and get some lobster off the coast.
Have you heard of the machete? The Marlins do a machete. It's like a 2-foot long. In a machete case, it's a tortilla wrapped with all these hot peppers and everything else. It looked awesome, but it's the Marlins, the machete that they have. Look, you can look that one out. But the Diamondbacks are doing that salted. They're doing that salted caramel shake. It's got the whipped cream, peanut butter sandwich cookies, Kit Kat bars, and Cracker Jacks. That freaking looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking at this photo of it right now. Take me out to the ball game shake is what they're calling it.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing is what? Was that like 2,000 calories, you think? More? This thing is loaded. How do you even eat that? The problem is, again, that thing is going to just melt all over before you can even eat. Yeah, you got to eat that thing quick.
You have to share it with somebody.
That too.
Or go into the concourse in the some AC.
I'm seeing a photo of the machete you're talking about, the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, it looked awesome.
2-foot-long quesadilla with mozzarella, cheeses, house marinated carne asada, pepper sauce, salsa verde, cilantro. Yeah, that's
the
probably
machete
enough.
Looks awesome.
That looks like it's enough for all 3 of us to eat easily. This thing, that looks
2
like
feet long. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that is.
Of course, there's always the boomstick. This is one of the most popular items the Rangers have.
Which one was that?
The boomstick, the giant hot dog or whatever that they sell at the Rangers games. The Diamondbacks are doing a foot-long beer cheese hot dog.
Hang on, they call it the boomstick?
You've heard of the boomstick.
No, Bink, I don't look at. Evidently, you know a lot
You've
about
never heard of the
ballpark
boomstick.
food.
The ballpark food stuff is fun for people. Though.
I think it's cool. I don't.
It's one of the popular items out there, man.
Yeah, but I don't.
It's
browse.
a 24-inch, 1-pound hot dog sold at Rangers games. 32 to 33
How much
bucks.
is it?
About 30
okay.
bucks. 33 bucks. You can get hot dog, chili, nacho cheese, jalapenos. You name it, Drew.
All right.
Let's get to the Snitch line. 913.
You get me hungry now.
586.
I want a machete.
7965. 913 586 7965. A Snitch line Thursday here on Cody and Gold. Jay Binkley's in for Cody today. All right, we got a couple already in here. Something you need to get off your chest. Let me get caught up because these came in a little bit earlier, so I need to scroll back down on the text line. Here we go. All right. This says, I stole my boss's power cord when she was out on vacation. I hate her. I know it was petty, but it was priceless to hear her ask me this morning, do you know what happened to my power cord? I denied any knowledge and played dumb, rolling on the floor laughing. So just a simple, just hide the power cord from the boss. I mean, our boss is out. Drew could go in the boss's office and move something around. Or, I mean, did you hear what Cody called our boss the other day? Could you believe what he said, Bink?
I did not hear it.
You didn't hear at all what he had to say?
The boss, El Jefe.
Hey, Cody.
Someone else. So they watched their neighbor let their dog bleep on their sidewalk, not pick it up. Trash. Yeah, if your dog does that on someone else's front yard or whatever, you got to pick it up. Come on. You got to pick it up. Your own front yard, backyard, if you don't want to pick up your own yard, that's your call. If you're walking your dog and the dog takes a crap in someone else's yard, you gotta have the bags with you.
Be courteous.
You got it.
Courteous. My neighbor used to walk around with a poop bag when he would walk his dog.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Someone else said, played Pong with Kevin Young in the basement bar
The BYU coach?
Of Logie's with my ex-girlfriend and her brother last weekend. Or that probably mean the former KU player, Kevin Young. Maybe?
I mean, Kevin Young coaches at BYU right now.
I'm guessing they mean the former KU basketball player. I don't know.
I would assume so.
Also, if he's coaching at BYU, I don't think he's playing beer pong.
That's a smart assumption.
You
never know.
Someone else saw Bink at his spot. Barbed wire barbecue, cutting in line. Says you used your 96.5 stature to get himself some of their signature deep-fried deviled eggs on the house.
Bink.
Wow. No, I haven't been there.
You pulled the, do you know who I am?
No.
Is that what you just did?
First of all, I don't cut in lines. So that's not true.
Wow.
I don't cut in lines. Don't do it.
Someone else says, hope that guy's boss doesn't listen to the show as well. That's true. That wouldn't be good. Someone else says, I connect to the office printer via Bluetooth and print random pictures of stupid stuff, then ask who did it. Can they not tell what computer? I guess you said you're doing it via Bluetooth. I'm like, can they not tell which computer is just printing random photos of random stuff? That's what someone said. Snitch line. 913-586-7965. Snitch line says, I think Carrington blocked me from the text line because I said I didn't like La Tiara taco shells. I doubt he blocked you for that. I know Carrington's not blocking people.
I don't think you're blocked because you just texted.
And we're definitely not blocked because we can see the text. Now, maybe you talking about on Instagram or Twitter? Did he block you on Twitter? I don't know. By the way, I am excited. The La Tiara
here
taco
come the Pirates.
Yeah, they just got a solo home run.
No, two-run.
Or two-run home run. La Tiara taco shells. I am glad those are back, though. That is a good sign.
Of course it is.
That was the shells. Like growing up, those were the shells my parents used when we were making tacos. Thin, you just housed a bunch of those, man.
Do you like a crunchy taco? Is it your
deep
preferred
fried
taco?
Oh, yeah, deep fried taco. Yeah. What about you?
Same way. I like the way In a Tub makes them. Fry it down with everything inside.
I haven't been
the
there.
Cheese on
Believe it or not, I have
It's
not
like a
been there.
staple
It's not anywhere near me. That's the problem. But I've heard good things. Let's see. Someone says, when I was in the Navy, I would call people on our internal phones, impersonate an officer to get people to come take my trash out since I wasn't a high enough rank. That probably significant consequences if you would have got caught with doing that, though. Was it that there's a lot of there's a lot of risk involved there.
The power cord guy is very confident that their boss is not listening to the show. He said they're in a meeting right now. He's strategic.
The bosses?
That's what he's.
Oh, okay.
That's what they say.
The boss's meeting is during the snitch line, is what you're saying. Okay, here you go. This is bad if you're doing this. From the 816. There's someone in my neighborhood that will bag their dog's poo when people are around, then drop it on the bike trail along the side of the trail later.
What?
Defeats the purpose. So you're going through the effort to actually pick up your dog's, you know what, but then you're too lazy to go take it to a trash can later, and so you just drop it. What are we? Come on, what are we doing? That's almost worse because you're really intentionally doing it at that point.
For sure.
You didn't look. I get it. I've walked my dog before where I did not have a bag with me, and I felt terrible. But obviously, what was I supposed to do? Right?
Pick it up, put it in your pocket.
No, this person picks it up and then knowingly dropped it. That's bad. That's bad.
Do you have an animal yet, Drew?
I do not.
He's wanted a dog. We've had the adopted dogs come.
If we get that big dog park out of the Truman Sports Shop, we'll actually take your dog.
Well, I mean, the way that the renderings they threw out there, I mean, it's weird. If 30, 50 years, nothing could be developed there, and now that it looks like they want to try to turn it into the Legends. I mean, it's kind of mind-boggling, honestly.
Ooh, magical.
A dog park might be part of that, though.
We'll see.
For all we know.
A good dog park for big dogs, little dogs. Dog park.
Let's see.
They have that.
This is from the 816. Last week during the hot day, saw a couple doing it on a disc golf tee pad in Liberty. They're called tee pads, not sex pads.
What?
So someone was on the disc golf.
What were they doing?
Course having sex.
Oh.
Bink. That would be what they mean by doing it, Bink.
There's no way.
Well, what do you mean there's no way? You don't think someone's ever had sex in the park?
Tee box. Come on. Go behind a tree.
I I don't know, man.
Hold on a second. This one might be an 816. I'm a plumber. Sometimes if I make a vacant house, I'll take a number 2 in the toilet, send a picture to the property management, and tell them the toilet's so clogged so they can make extra money.
Jeez.
It's creative.
That's crazy.
Gosh. Someone said, Bink, was that you playing disc golf?
No.
The only person who plays disc golf at the station like that, Mac is avid disc golfer.
Really? And
Yeah,
Jacob
I
used
think
to do
Mac-
it too.
yeah, yeah,
Jacob,
Mac-
he's
Mac
on
plays
he's
disc
on the
golf.
circuit with him now. Jacob, that used to be here.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
He played with Mac a couple times, I think.
Mac was.
Oh, yeah.
He's got all kinds of different discs, so like the putter, the driver. He has all of the.
I used to have that. But you don't do it on a tee box.
Mac's awesome. Elsewhere, 913-586-7965. Someone said, CDOT told me last week he thinks KU is the best college hoops program in the country. He won't admit it on air, though. I could believe that. I could believe that one. Yeah, I totally believe that one. And lastly, someone says, oops, that was my wife and I. Sorry, guys, on the disc golf. Oh, of course. I'm sure it was. Sure it was. Hope you enjoyed.
Did you have Blue Chew? Were you chewing it and doing it?
I don't know if they were. I don't know if he needs it. Not everybody does, Bink. I'm not sure.
Might have. Heard Drew. Drew inspired him.
Well, Drew, that's all Drew, yeah. That's all Drew.
Based on the last segment, that might have been you, Bink, who was inspiring.
No. You've never given me any.
Wait, you want Drew to give you some chew?
I was one to, yeah.
You do chew every day.
No, that kind of chew. Blue Chew.
You got some right in front of you right
That's
now.
not Blue Chew, though.
You've been chewing all day.
Yeah,
You've been doing the show.
But that doesn't.
Chewing it and doing it.
But then, no, there's no doing it.
The show. You've been doing the show.
Okay.
Doing the show. Have you not been doing the show?
Yeah, I've been doing the show, yeah.
Yeah, I think you've done a good job. It's been fun. We haven't gotten kicked off the air yet, so that's a good sign.
But Drew inspired him.
Okay.
Thank you guys for the text. We're cutting off the Snitch line.
They should name their kid Drew.
Huh?
That's a
if he got her pregnant, the baby should be called Drew.
No, not because. Yeah, if you want to name him Drew, fine.
Name your kid Drew. Tell the story behind it. I was listening to 96.5 and I heard Blue Chew, and so we were chewing it and doing it, and heard Drew talk about it. T-Box, why not? Chew it and do it.
All right. Enough of that. All right.
Get it together, Gold.
Me? I'm fine, Bink. I'm doing just fine.
Drew's actually the dirty one.
We didn't get. Yeah, that's true. He tries to act like he's not, but that's actually what happens.
This happens once a show when you fill in, Bink. It's not a bad thing, but
you guys do put it up on a tee for me, not to borrow a phrase, because you know where I'm going to take it.
The NFL yesterday, we got off the air, announced a couple things that we kind of had some insight on, but we weren't sure on official times. That the Rams 49ers are going to play in Australia. We already knew that. We know it's on a Thursday. We now know exactly the time. We don't know the network or streaming platform. So Rams Niners going to be at 5:35 Pacific, so 7:35 our time. 10:35 in the morning on Friday in Australia. So this game's Thursday here, and of course, time difference. They're going to be at
get to the stadium at 5 a.m.
So tell me why, and the Seahawks are playing the Wednesday night against an opponent to be determined. Technically, it could be the Chiefs, although I would be shocked. Unless you're a fan of the Seahawks and you're upset you're playing on Wednesday instead of Thursday, or you're, I guess, a Niners or Rams fan that's upset that on a Thursday night you got to try to rush home from work to watch the game. Why am I supposed to, like here in Kansas City, as a Chiefs fan, why would I be upset about the Rams Niners playing in Australia Thursday night and the Seahawks playing Wednesday night? I don't care. I think it's great. I don't have an issue with it.
I think the majority of the country would say it's more football. We got football Wednesday and Thursday, and that's all they care about. They don't care about the time they're playing at 10:30 in the morning. They don't care what time they're watching it in Seattle. They just want to see football. And you know what? It's going to be starved for football because you have all summer and training camps. You just want the real thing, and you're going to get the real thing, and you don't care about anything else. You just want to see real football, and you in a head on a gambling app and bet on said game. That's all you're concerned about.
Yeah, I
Not the time.
I know Drew and I went back and forth on this. I'm surprised you actually don't have his same take. He didn't like it because eventually it's like this stuff interferes with college football on Wednesdays, et cetera. Like, that's not the NFL's problem, though. That's not like they're not trying to protect these other leagues.
Well, they can't. They can't.
They're stealing days, Bing. They're stealing days from everybody.
No, they can't because the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961.
That's why they're not playing on Friday.
Yeah, Friday through the Saturdays. You can't have Saturdays till the second week in December. It's 1961.
No, but that's why they're not playing Friday to open up the season this year.
I get it. Yeah, because the Chiefs could because it was the first Friday in September, not the second, because that's when the rule take place.
The calendar is why they're doing the Wednesday game.
Which I'm fine with. Doesn't interfere with anything. And the Friday football, yes, I was a big advocate of, there's a lot of good college football games on Friday.
But you're a high school football
guy. But that's
guy.
always been a big high school football night, of course, has been Friday night. I think a lot of the coaches wanted that too because they're out there recruiting or they bring recruits in. And so they wanted to keep Friday nights open for that. And I totally get that. But the television windows, we got to be on TV and the exposure, it's worth more to the program than going out and taking your helicopter to a high school football game. I still think Friday should be reserved for high school football. So, yes, that part is true.
All right, coming up next, we'll get to what's trending. I want to talk a little bit more about the NFL rule proposal, including one thing that's not going to be discussed next week at the league meetings. And people have asked a couple times throughout the show. We already talked about it yesterday, but I do want to get Bink's thoughts on what occurred over the weekend, going back to this past weekend, when it came to flag football with the USA versus some of the former NFL players and what that means for the Olympics in 2028. We'll do that next here on Cody and Gold.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Cole Reagans, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impacts it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, good sex will be the norm. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a level of intimacy for you and your partner that might just astound you both. It's time to have really good sex again, so call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Rally House, shop every team in town. College and pro, come on, it's time to go.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
Kansas, Missouri, Kansas State, Chiefs and Royals make KC great. Rally House, Rally House. It's your city, it's your house, it's the Rally House.
Level up your fandom in-store or online at rallyhouse.com.
Right now, new FanDuel customers can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. So here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. You can even mix things up with same-game parlays for a shot at a bigger payout. So just visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/local. And remember, place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. Perhaps you think one of these number 1 seeds go down later on this week to get us down to just 2 remaining 1 seeds. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.com/. sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I own a coffee shop, and I wanted to label everything with our logo.
That's ambitious.
Cups, boxes, bags.
Ooh, that'll add up.
Not at all, because right now, Staples prints custom labels for 30% off.
30% off? That's shockingly affordable branding.
Yep, now our logo and URL are seen all over town.
Brand your business for less at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or in the app by 4/18 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
This report is brought to you by CM Mose & Son, HVAC, Plumbing, and Electrical Services. CMMoseandSon.com.
Dispatch, this is Mindy at CM Mose & Son. Well, boy, it's getting cold out there. If your heater's making funny noises or your home isn't as warm as it used to be, visit CMMoseandSon.com. CM Mose & Son. License 202919.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Scott Parks, and we've launched Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's largest sporting event. Presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. Subscribe on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
What's trending is brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete, trusted in Kansas City since 1994. One contractor, all things parking lot. We start with opening day across baseball today. Yeah, opening night was yesterday. Yankees got the 7-0 win against the Giants. But today, first full day of opening day. The Royals do have to wait until tomorrow to get in on the action for the 2026 season. They will be in Atlanta. 6:15 start. Of course, the game right here on 96.5 The Fan. Currently, it is the Pirates and the Mets in action. Also, the White Sox and Brewers and the Nationals and the Cubs. It's 5-3 Mets. They jumped on Paul Skeens, chased him out of the first inning, as a matter of fact. The White Sox have an early lead on the Brewers 1-0. Jacob Mizorowski on the bump for the Brewers today. Other divisional games, the Twins and Orioles get going around 2 o'clock. The Twins not expected to be all that good this year, but you never know. And then the Tigers, the Royals' most likely biggest competition to win the AL Central. Skubal on the bump against the Padres around 3 o'clock tonight.
That's the way the Twins are. You expect them to be good, then they're terrible. Expect them to be bad, then they actually turn out good. So, yeah, this opening day stuff. I'm sure NBC thought, okay, Skeens, we get Skeens on opening day. This could be great. And seeing them chased in the first inning, not so good for NBC. But Royals not playing tonight gives you Sweet 16 all your attention. I'm sure you'll watch a little Major League Baseball too, but the Sweet 16, the biggest upset I see is the Texas Purdue.
You're calling it, huh?
Yeah, it's obviously it can be the biggest upset. So yeah, I'll say Texas over Purdue, but I'm really looking forward to Iowa, Nebraska tonight. I know Arkansas, Arizona will be fun, Illinois, Houston, but that Iowa, Nebraska, there's some about these fans that I'm sure are drinking right now. I'm sure they were drinking this morning. I think that's probably when the first Busch Light was consumed by Nebraska fans.
Yeah, Texas, Purdue, first game tonight, 11-2 matchup. Then Iowa, Nebraska, as you mentioned, Arkansas, Arizona, Illinois, Houston. Those are the games we get tonight in the opening night of the Sweet 16. Thinking of college basketball, NC State head basketball coach Will Wade is leaving NC State to go back to LSU. You may have recalled a couple years back, he was at LSU. There was this NCAA investigation. He got fired, ends up at McNeese State, does well there, just got to NC State. Now he's going back to LSU, reportedly on, a 5-year deal for the LSU Tigers.
It's weird.
It is very weird.
To where you started. Packers edge, Micah Parsons with that knee. Expected to miss 3 to 4 games of the season per at Matt Schneidman. But here's the one thing about it. Remember Micah was on that scooter and stuff, or on the Pro Bowl and stuff? Like, it's taken him a while. It takes everybody a different time to heal, but 3 to 4 weeks, I mean, it's the first month of the season.
Lastly, on what's trending, MLB put out their top-selling jerseys for the 2026 season. Heading in, it's based off of sales from the Fanatic network of sites, including MLBshop.com. No surprise. Number 1, Shohei Ohtani. Yamamoto, number 2. Aaron Judge, 3. Cal Raleigh, 4. Mookie Betts, 5. You might be wondering, are there any Royals in the top 20? No. Bobby Witt Jr. not even in the top 20 of jerseys sold. Some names that are still on this list that I was surprised to still see, I guess, would be somebody like a Josh Naylor out in Seattle, Christian Yelich with the Brewers. So, look, if the Royals get to the postseason, that probably helps Bobby's case. Vinny Pasquantino and the WBC, all that. But it's a lot of big markets. I mean, the smallest market that has somebody on this list, in fairness, is Milwaukee, and it's Christian Yelich. Other than that, man, it's LA, New York, Seattle, LA, Arizona, LA, Baltimore, Boston, Chicago, Philly, LA, Philly, New York, Toronto, New York. I mean, it's some of this is just nationally the small market part of it.
And one other addition here, Alex, it's been put out by Spot Rack that we like to look for football and salaries, and of course baseball too. The projected 2026 opening day tax payrolls. Okay. Obviously, the top spending team in baseball, the Dodgers, $413.5 million. The Mets, number 2. The Royals, 17th, kind of right there in the middle as far as payroll spending. So the Royals come out with the 17th highest payroll in Major League Baseball.
All right. That is what's trending. Brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete, trusted in Kansas City since 1994. One contractor, all things parking lot. All right, a couple of things I want to get to before we get out of here. Jay Binkley filling in for Cody today. Cody will be back tomorrow, and we'll be out at Rally House in Independence. Hope to see you guys all out there. We'll have a pair of tickets to opening day up for grabs, plus 4 $100 Rally House gift cards. And they're also going to have first 100 customers through the door receiving a Rally House opening day scratcher ticket. Could receive up to 40% off your next MLB purchase. Head to rallyhouse.com. Someone texted this in, and so I actually am kind of curious where you're at. This happened on Saturday, kind of got lost in the NCAA tournament shuffle, but flag football had a Fanatics Classic. They had Gronk and Brady and Odell Beckham Jr. going up against the actual flag football USA team, and it wasn't good for
different teams. They had 3 different teams.
It wasn't good for the former NFL players. There were also current players, right? Stephon Diggs, Joe Burrow, for example, all were playing in it. We know the Olympics in 2028 are going to have flag football, and there's a big push by the NFL. It's why that teaser tweet the Chiefs sent out today that said, like, the missing piece with next Thursday's date, and it's a flag with a missing piece. Everybody's assuming that's an announcement about flag football. So it's a huge initiative moving forward for the NFL. Do you think what happened on Saturday changes anything for the Olympics as far as the NFL not having as many? Like, are they going to have some non-NFL players on the USA team? And how do you think that plays out?
I think so. I think they will have non-NFL players on it because it should be the best of the best, not just who's got the biggest name or the highest payroll. It should be the best of the best. And one thing is, these guys play that sport. They train for that sport. They're good at that sport. There's a difference than the guys that put the pads on and go out there and play, competitive football. We saw this with the Chiefs. Louis Rizzi-Zammit, they tried to make the Chiefs football team that was good in other sports besides football. So people automatically assume, you must be good at football. Well, it takes a skill set. So I think it's going to be kind of a mixture of both, to be quite honest with you, with the skill sets. But guys that play all the time in one sport, and this is what they do, and this is how they make their living, and this is what they practice, and they got the chemistry with the other players because they're always with their players instead of all-stars coming together basically, and just playing right there. Takes a lot to it, but I think there's going to be a mixture of because it's just different skill sets for the NFL in flag football, but that's definitely something they do and they perfect. So Will I be shocked if NFL players are on it? No, I think they will and they should, because it should be the best of the best. But I think some of the best does include guys that aren't in the National Football League.
What an opportunity, though, for if it ends up being majority NFL players, okay. But if there's 1 or 2 non-NFL players going for a gold medal and catching passes from whoever, Lamar Jackson, Jane Daniels, fine. I'll say Mahomes, although I don't know if he'll participate or not. By the time you get 2 years from now, he's even older. We'll see.
You're what, 32 at that point?
How cool? Like, what an opportunity for the quote unquote random flag football player if they get to play on that team. That could change. I mean, that can change that person's career.
Yeah, the spotlight, because everybody's going to be interested in watching new sport to the Olympics, and obviously, I'm sure with the NFL, and it's going to be highly profiled.
But just give me Justin Jefferson out there. Give me maybe JSN out there. Whoever the top receivers are 2 years from now, a year and a half from now, the U.S. will be fine.
And I wonder if there will be any kind of GM influence like you saw in the WBC.
Yeah, who's deciding the roster?
Like innings limits and stuff you saw with the pitchers playing in the WBC. Will there be limits and limitations to what you can do with your contract?
Well, some teams may not want their player to participate, but I also think for the Olympics, it's one thing to stop somebody playing in a charity or a charity or this past Fanatics thing where you're getting paid. I don't think you're going to tell your star quarterback, let's say, hey, we're not going to let you go play for a gold medal. That's not going to happen.
No, I think every player will be given the opportunity. They should be.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it should be the best of the best. And you know what? If it's somebody you've never heard of, what's that quarterback's name? Doucette or something they have on there now? If you got the best of the best, what, Earl?
Daryl.
Oh, Daryl. Daryl. But if it's somebody you've never heard of and he's better than the NFL players at flag football, have the best of the best playing. You don't want to see the biggest names. You want to see the best play that can win a gold medal.
Throwing to Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. That would just be kind of wild for him.
Great.
Vitamin D.
Whoa.
Some of the receivers, definitely, you want them in there.
Yeah, the receivers will be easy. Yeah. I think you'll have the quarterback be an NFL quarterback. And I think the receivers will be NFL. Then maybe you have one or two players that aren't, that just know a little bit more about the game of flag football. The other part is they're going to have time to prepare. This past thing this weekend, they had like one practice, and that was it. You give whoever you think the NFL quarterback will be representing the U.S. in 2 years, you give that player 3 months in the offseason to get ready for the July Olympics, let's say, whenever the Summer Olympics are going to be. I think they'll be just fine.
Should be fun, but again, I would take the best of the best. It wouldn't be, well, so-and-so plays in the NFL, has got a big name. No, I'd do the best of the best.
The concept of them doing this during training camp as well and basically missing out on
the first couple weeks
of training camp and most of the preseason, because if you think July-ish through it ends in August, like the Olympics go to August. Like
that's the controversial part.
You're missing on almost the entire preseason.
I think it's great for these guys, for football players now, to get an opportunity to be in the Olympics. I mean, I think
what about the team
awesome.
though? I mean, if I tell you, maybe it doesn't matter for the veteran quarterback, but if I have let's say it's a wide receiver that's in his second year and he's good enough already to be in the Olympics. And all of a sudden, he's got a new quarterback that offseason, and he's playing the Olympics. So for 3 weeks during training camp, he's not getting any rapport with his quarterback. Like, that would be concerning if I was the NFL team. That'll be a real conversation we're going to have, guys, I think in a year and a half or 2 years. It's such a small number of teams and players that are going to be impacted by this, because you're not, assuming it doesn't go the way of the WBC, though, right? The U.S., sure, is the predominant team, but what's to say that I have no idea. This is just a random name. Let's say that Justin Jefferson somehow isn't on the U.S. team, but he can trace some lineage, and we're like, oh, Justin Jefferson's playing for Team Canada or whatever randomly. Be like,
that'd be horrible.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be some NFL players that are going to find ways to just play in the Olympics.
There's also going to be unknown names that flag football that play in this game, and GMs are like, whoa, look at those hands. Look at that. Let's give him a tryout. So you're going to see it go
what do you
both
mean?
ways.
They're going to see Daryl Doucette throw a dot to somebody and be like, hang on a second.
Was he the one that said he was better than Mahomes?
Yes. Which, look, come on.
Hey, in fairness to him, he was balling out, apparently. I mean,
he's good.
I mean, he's evidently he knows his stuff for the flag football side of things, so shout out to him.
Yeah, he knew his Doucette.
Yep.
At the end of the day, I feel like I'm better than Patrick Mahomes because of my IQ of the game. I know he's right now the best in the league. I know he's more accurate. I know he has all these intangibles. But when it comes to flag football, I feel like I know more than him.
My only thing is you're telling me Mahomes can't lock in for 4 months before the Olympics in 2028 and figure out the rules and the IQ of the game? Come on now.
I mean, they do play a similar version in the NFL because a lot of practice time is 7-on-7. They don't have the flags, but there is some of that in it.
It almost looks, at times you almost like you see what they do, and it almost looks like not breakdancing, but in a way like they jump down, get real low to the ground, spin off to the side. It looks like they're doing a dance move essentially, but it's the strategy of making the flags move, and yeah.
I think when the Olympics happen, I'll be into it. in general, flag football is boring, but that's only because I have only watched, admittedly, the Pro Bowl version of it and then this little random Fanatics thing. I'm sure it'll be a different level and intensity in the Olympics, but in general, not saying it's not fun to play and there's leagues around town and it's fun. I'm talking about you're just watching randomly on TV. It seems kind of boring.
I think it's going to be interesting. I wish they'd play tackle football in the Olympics.
Wow. Yeah.
Then we'd crush everybody, man. It would be awesome.
Not enough players.
No?
Not enough players across enough countries to do that. Yeah.
It'd be great, though.
It would be awful, I think.
What, to play tackle football?
Yeah, because the teams, I mean, the U.S. would be so dominating, it just wouldn't even be, it just wouldn't
be fun.
There's not enough players to field 20 other countries, I don't think. Flag football, the roster, you only need 8 players, including depth? I don't know.
I mean, I know Derrick Henry's going to be too old at that point. Could you imagine Derrick Henry playing in the Olympics, just smashing through players and everything? It would be fun. Doing the stiff arm, getting to the end zone. Nobody can stop him.
Thinking of a play that nobody could stop up until, I guess, last year. That's now, I guess, nobody cares about anymore. Did you see the update? The tush push is not going to even be discussed at the league meeting. I thought mid-season most people agreed that thing was done, and now suddenly NFL competition committee doesn't care. I'll admit, I think it's a terrible look for the league because it makes it sure seem like they only cared when the Eagles were good. Now if the Eagles fell back a little bit, nobody gives a damn about the play. It didn't work as well.
People are finding a way to stop it. A lot like they did the Wildcat when it first came out. People found a way to stop it. But I am shocked on it because how close it was to passing. But as I said, I think it opens up Pandora's box. I've talked to you about this, that the fact is what's considered a tush push, because then all of a sudden you're saying you can't do it down the field, because that was the language the Packers put in it last year before the vote, is you can't push or pull players down the field, meaning you've seen it with the Chiefs. Pacheco gets near the goal line or first down, Trey Smith or whatever comes behind him and pushes them forward. So they were going to outlaw that too, any type of pushing players. Then all of a sudden the argument's going to be, well, 70% of my body was pushing the defender, only 30% on the player. But they're worried now, and they should be worried about the referees getting under the contract, not using the replacement officials like the 150 they have on the list from small colleges. That's the whole reason we have this thing, this central command where they can now pick penalties just by watching. Something's not even challenged. This could happen.
With the replacement. Only if there's replacement officials.
Only replacement.
Yeah.
But that's a scary side. I know they've been talking about doing that and adding it even with the real officials. When you see, that was pass interference or that was, roughing the quarterback, things that you didn't even challenge, all of a sudden you have a touchdown, all of a sudden it's roughing the passer coming back at you. That's not a good proposition. But the onside kick, it looks like it's going to change, and people were freaking out about it yesterday. Oh, they're going to allow the onside kick anytime during the game. Well, that was last year's rule. You could do it. If you're trailing, you could onside kick any time, not necessarily the fourth quarter. But any team can do it now. They didn't put that language in there kind of differentiating that any team, whether you're leading or trailing, can still do an onside kick. But the element of surprise is gone because you have to announce your attention. Obviously,
the only thing is that with the tush push and the officiating and all this, they've got to be able to track the false starts and get that right. That was the issue last year, Bink, as much as anything.
Rectify the situation.
You have to at least be able to officiate the play. It's one thing if you're just annoyed because it's a boring play, and it is. But also on top of that, they could not officiate it. So I'm just stunned that the league has gone completely 180 on this and now doesn't even care to discuss the tush push this offseason.
I'm just surprised at how close it was that's not, because usually things that are like the vote's not even close in the NFL, those things go away. But if something's close, it comes up the next year. So I'm very shocked it didn't come back
up. What did you make of any of the other rule changes? We hit on this yesterday a little bit. They're making a few tweaks to de-incentivize kicking touchbacks from the 50-yard line. They want more returns. I thought last year they got pretty damn close to the perfect kickoff for what we're going to get. I understand we all, most would like to go back to what it was in 2010.
100%.
They're never doing that, though. So this is what we got. I thought last year was pretty damn good. They fixed some of the made it less, more of a penalty, for not just kicking it like a normal kickoff.
I think the onside really stood out to me, too, that whether you're
declaring it.
If you're in the league, you can still do it.
But you still have to declare.
But you have to declare, and that's the part that does suck. But now teams that are in the lead can still do it. But yes, I'm glad that they're keeping the rule to where teams that are trailing can still do it any part of the game, not just in the fourth quarter. That kind of stood out the most there. But there's not a ton of like earth-shaking moves. The NFL is on this kick lately of changing rules up each and every year. You know, sometimes if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I think the NFL tries to tinker and fix way things too much that don't need to be fixed. And I think that's one of them. The tush push, I'm very surprised at because, again, like you said, they can't officiate it properly. And that's the frustration is when all of a sudden you see the replay that somebody's offsides, then it goes all over social media and every NFL fan's mad and thinks the league is idiots because they're allowing this to happen. Because that's exactly what happens. It's a bad PR look for the National Football League because each and every time it's out there and there's a false start, people automatically, hey, blame the Eagles and they're cheating and all this. And they don't want that. You don't want your fan base to think officials that are, paid $250,000, $300,000 and not happy with their jobs. You don't want to think they have a agenda like they want the Chiefs to win or the Eagles always cheat. Like that's the one thing the NFL needs to back away from, and they're not trying to do it.
Yeah, I just think the NFL should know from what happened last time they had the major officiating controversy with the replacement refs. It goes into all of this. We all know what ultimately happened. So this replacement ref discussion about coming up with a deal, to me, they have to get a deal done before the season. They can play hardball right now, and I know the talks didn't go well, but they already know what the consequence is. They can claim the reviews upstairs. You cannot have another Monday Night Football game where the embarrassment happens like that, and then the next day you ended up doing a deal anyway.
Here's the thing: it's a great job to have. You're talking, some of these guys make with incentives during the postseason up to $300,000, and that's a part-time job. We all know they all do regular jobs as well: lawyers, nonprofit CEOs, you name it. But it's $300,000 to do one game a week, where they should all be full time with the NFL. To be honest with you, I think you could find enough people in refs to want to do that. But, yeah, it's a shame, and especially when you look at the NFL the last time this happened, Alex, what's the biggest difference between 2012 when the replacement officials had to come in and now? The gambling aspect. I mean, it's one thing if you're just watching your team and really rooting hard for your team to win, and it's another thing if you have $500 or $1,000 and it comes down to a bad call at the end. Gambling has been accepted and embraced by the National Football League. That's why they need to get things right. That's why this officiating meeting yesterday, they met down in Florida. The NFL's like, and they walked away before lunchtime. They're supposed to be down there at this 2-day meeting to hammer details out, and they walked away. The negotiations did not go well yesterday at all with this. When one group just left,
but it's March.
We don't want to do it.
But it's March. They got until September 1st or whatever.
But the whole gambling aspect is the new thing. I mean, there's a lot of people with a lot of interest and a lot of money on that interest. With bad officials are one thing, but when you have money on the game, it makes it even worse.
For sure. So we'll see. I'm not worried about the replacement ref stuff yet. If we're at, say, Joe, and it's training camp and the league hasn't come up with a deal yet with these refs, then we can start getting worried.
I mean, the small college list.
High school, we were talking about the other day. High school officials back in 2012 they had some high school officials officiating NFL games, which is
it's $1 billion league that plays 9 international games. It spends money all over the place, and you can't get a good officiating. Insane.
What are you doing the rest of the day? What do you got planned? It's like 90-plus degrees outside. I'm excited to go drive around a little bit, watch some baseball. If the Royals were playing, I'd be way more excited about today. I'll have some other games on, but also Sweet 16 tonight is what I'm more interested in.
You're in the Broncos still, right?
I am still, yeah.
So the top will be down. You'll be cruising.
Yeah. Yep. You'll see a video out on social a little bit later on, thanks to Shawnee Mission Ford. Yeah, still driving the Ford Bronco. And when it's nice like this, it's like the best feature in the